Honor and esteem to the Most High Yah by way of Yahushua HaMashiach. John chapter 5, good old verse 39. We talked about a lot of different things yesterday, well, last night I should say, and I'll say this, right? Because it got brought back to my thought process this morning. And you sit back and you think about like them thorns, right? Y'all remember what them thorns are for? What they for, Stanley? Not only just to prove you, but to humble you. Keep you humble. Now, I'm mentioning that because it's something we're going to look at. Because prove is definitely in there. And we mention that because that's going to come up in just a moment. Just a moment. Come on, man.
Search the script, and you think you have eternal life, and they will testify to me. You will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come in my Father's name, you receive me not. For another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which seek honor one from another, and seek not the honor that cometh from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you to the Father. There is one that accuses you, even Moses, whom you trust. For had you believed in Moses, you have believed in me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my word?
Yes, sir. Where do we stop at? Ecclesiastes 3 and 15. Give him 13 just on general principle. I wonder what he's looking at. He's cheesing hard.
One might see something.
I'm trying. Hold on. Y'all ever heard people say when you heard babies laying in their sleep smiling, they were looking at an angel? That's the dumbest thing you ever been told in your life.
Newborns, because they're so pure. Like a newborn can see an angel.
Shoot, anybody can see an angel. He wants you to see it.
I heard that one.
Shoot, Balaam definitely wasn't pure in the heart. He definitely got to see him one.
I used to see John when I was little. I can't even lie.
I ain't see nothing.
See what?
To see stuff, bro. I didn't register in my mind what it was, but I used to see it. So like now that I'm in the word, now like
I ain't see nothing.
yeah, I don't know. I don't want to say it was an angel, but I don't know what it was.
I probably would have ran. Mama!
But when I used to see it, it used to like suck me into it. Like it used to make me daze. Like just look at it, and I couldn't like. And then it'd disappear, and I like.
Ain't no telling, man.
I get back right. Like I don't know.
Knowing me, if I'd have been you, I'd have ran.
You ain't never seen it.
I don't know. I still would have ran. I'm scared. I'm just climbing back. Go ahead.
That every man should eat and drink and enjoy the good of all his labor. It is a gift of Elohim. I know that whatsoever Elohim do it shall be done forever.
It shall be done for what?
Forever.
Who know the word for forever? Olam. Same word that he put the world in their heart. That means forever. Everlasting. Go ahead, sir.
Nothing can be put to it, nor anything taken from it. And Elohim do it, that men should fear before him.
So he do all that so you respect him. Come on.
That which have been is now, and that which have already been, and Elohim require that which is past.
Remember, we talked about that last night. That which has already been, the son telling you what? That he looking for those who coming afterwards, or those who going to be born of the son, or those who going to believe on him based off the apostles' preaching, those that's coming after his death and resurrection. Come on with verse 16. Let's go ahead and get in to what we need to get in.
It says,
Henry Jones.
And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there.
So he said he saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, iniquity was there. What do y'all think that could mean? What y'all think that could mean? I want y'all to ponder upon that query. I'm going to read it out loud to you again so you can hear it. Say, moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment. So the first thing that y'all need to be able to identify is, where is the place of judgment? Hold on now. He said that he saw that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. The word for place is makom. It's a standing place. It's a post or office. It's a locality or spot. It's meme, kuf, oo, and meme. How you gonna spell that? But think about that for a minute. He said he saw wickedness. In the place of wickedness, he saw what he saw there? No, he said in the place of judgment, wickedness was there. But then he said in the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. So how in the place of righteousness can iniquity be present at the same time? All of this is the place that he's seen and where? The place of judgment, correct? So where is the place of judgment? You got to think back and refer back to all the verses starting from verse 9 and the points that have been made that we looked at from there. And the answer to verse 16 should be very clear.
I'm thinking talking about judging the earth.
Judging the earth. Anybody else want to take a shot at that? Well, the first part is, let's just deal with the first thing first. Where is the place of judgment that he is referring to? That wickedness is there and righteousness is there. And with the righteousness, that iniquity was there. So think, where is this place of judgment? The word for judgment there is mishpat in that particular passage.
I would say it's the wash out in the flesh. Because this flesh was missing or his flesh, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Anybody else? That's not the right answer.
So I was thinking Isaiah 66 when we see the carcass of man being
That's not the right answer neither. You want to take a roll of that? Do you want to take a roll of that? Say that you want to take a roll of that.
Okay.
That's close enough. I'll accept it. John 18 and 28. John 18 and 28. It's real specific though, the play. He said Jerusalem, so he done narrated this nigga eating a parfait.
Can we finish the thing, John 8?
18.
I've been saying, this threw me all. This nigga said here eating a parfait. I ain't seen parfait since I worked at KFC. Come on. You know how long ago that was? You wasn't even born yet.
18, 28.
Yeah, tell me what I said.
It said, then led they Yahusha from Caiaphas into the hall of judgment, and it was early, and they themselves went not into the judgment hall, lest they should be defiled, but they might eat the Passover.
So boom. He didn't stab it. That's why I say his answer is correct. I'll take it. Because the judgment hall would have been where? In Jerusalem. But now let's get even more specific. Where is the place of judgment? That wickedness was there, and right in the place of righteousness and iniquity was there. Where is that place? If they just took him to the judgment hall, you should know the second half of it. Some of y'all probably used to sing that song in Sunday school. With the name of the place and what I'm referring to. I know you know the name of the place. You know the name of the place. It's mentioned in Matthew.
the skull.
27. Oh, the skull.
The skull
No, the skull. You know, remember the name of it? I'll give you that one there too. That's a bonus point. Because I was looking for another spot. But that's a bonus point. No, the skull is correct. That's what the word means. But do you remember the word? Can you remember the word? Because you are correct.
Let's start with the G.
Start with a T. Golgotha. But now what's the other place then?
Not the valley.
Not the valley. There's another place in there start with a G. You know it too?
Gomorrah? No.
No. All I know is Golgotha.
The place of the skull.
Whatever. Yeah.
And there's another place they took him down to too. Start with a G.
Yeah.
End with a main.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the second main.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't get it out.
That's the other spot. That's the place that, now you can see why wickedness is there, right? They took him to the place of judgment right here in John 18. We know wickedness is there. Why is wickedness there? Because of what the scribes and Pharisees are doing. You know what I'm saying? Golgotha. Jessamine is the plane that they took him to after they took him out of that judgment hall before they took him to a Golgotha. Remember Golgotha? What is it, 27 in Matthew? Get that for him real quick. I can't recall.
I didn't know that Jessamine. Where that's at, that Jessamine?
In Matthew 27. Just a little plain, a little valley.
You said Matthew 27?
Mm-hmm. I might have to. Henry James Jones. Why is you over here? Jay Bird, go find your
I
mom.
can't pronounce it right though.
I feel you. Sure.
I gotta see it.
33 was the Gothic, but the one you said, well, I'm trying to look for that one.
Go and give him Matthew 27 and 33. I got it.
It said, and when they were coming to the place called Golgotha, that is to say, the place of a skull, they gave him vinegar and drink mingled with gall. And when he had tasted thereof, he would not drink. Then they crucified him and parted his garments, casting lots, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken in the prophet. They parted my garments among them, and upon my vesture did they cast lots.
So at this point, right, righteousness is there and iniquity is there as well. Because what is his purpose? That's what you mentioned the full time, right? Get from under there. Just get on from under there. Which is all iniquity is there. But see, let's come on back to Ecclesiastes 3 real fast. I want you to see verse 17. We're going to come on by it. Because once we get to verse 18, we good. We're going to slide up out of this chapter for at least for a small season. Mari, get from under there. Stop being rebellious.
What song you was talking about?
What, who?
What song you was talking about?
I don't know. Shoot, I just done heard it. I've heard many songs in my day. I don't know the name of the song. Shoot, I couldn't even tell you how it goes. I've seen that junk on TV. I just threw that out there, maybe to jog y'all memory.
Oh, there you go. It's 26 and 36.
Go
It
ahead.
said, then cometh Yahushua with them to a place called Gethsemane.
That's the place where he went and prayed.
Yeah.
Because this is also a place of judgment. The reason why I mentioned it in that place is back them up to 26 and show them what happened. What happened in 26? You ain't got to get. What happened before he went to that place to go pray? What happened? He ate the Passover. So when he ate the Passover, wickedness was there because he got to drink that cup because that cup is your sins. You know what I'm saying? Well, we can say this here. Wickedness is there because Judas is there. Then he say righteousness, but iniquity is there, and the iniquity is there because of the cup. When he come to Jessamine, now he's in the place of judgment, and what is he asking to get off of him in Jessamine? That cup. You know what I'm saying? He's looking to get that up off of him. See, this is going to tie in when we get to verse 17 and 18. We can use this in two different scenarios. That's why I say your Golgotha on point as well, because Golgotha, where they took him and literally judged him. See, that's why we read in John 18, because they took him in the judgment hall to judge to say that he should be killed. So there were three places of judgment, because remember, it's just a locality, it's a spot. He was judged in Jessamine. Y'all say you got to drink that cup, buddy.
All of that's in Jerusalem.
Yeah, and that's why I say I'll take that. You know what I'm saying? We were looking to be nuanced, but can't say that Jerusalem's wrong. I'll take that. You know what I'm saying? Then you get in the judgment hall, and guess what the people did? They judged him and say he was a what? A blasphemer specifically. You know what I'm saying? And then you take him to Golgotha and hang him on the tree, and now he's been judged there. Because now the judgment has been executed.
Jessamine is an oil press.
And guess what an oil press. So what you do with an oil press? You know what you do with an oil press? You know what you do with it?
Jessamine.
Who in here use olive products? Yeah, they gotta take the olives and they put it in the press and they squeeze it to get what out? To get the oil out. So when he going to Jessamine, that's one of the reasons why you see him sweating and all this stuff here, because he's being pressed. Tabbing. Hello, Leah. Leah. Come here, Leah. So I don't care nothing about that. She looked like she must have just woke up. You just woke up, Pop? What's wrong with you?
Keep pressing the green.
What's wrong with you, Pop? What's wrong? What's wrong? You okay? You want to go sit down? Are you sad? Are you mad? You just want money? And that goes back to what we were talking about with those thorns and the stuff that you have to endure because you got to go through that press. Remember the word that we looked at with me, you got to be humiliated? You got to be oppressed? You have to suffer? Let me pull that word.
And then it was showing in there too how Gethsemane was like on the mount, like on the bottom of the Mount of Olives.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's When he coming back.
And that's what he coming back to. That's
fully complete.
That's the word for exercise, anah. That's the man with raised arms experience eternal life, and that's one of the first places where you begin to see him experience eternal life. Hey, Lizzie. This had something that Liz had a Dennis chilling yesterday. Yes, went to the dentist for the first time. Like she enjoyed herself. That makes sense, though? Could read in verse 17 in Ecclesiastes 3.
It said, I said in my heart, Elohim shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time there for every purpose and for every word.
So remember, what's the word purpose mean in Hebrew? What's that word? Who remembers what that word is?
I remember that.
Who remember what that word is?
You remember?
Of course. Shayla, you remember what that word for purpose is? Do you remember what that word for purpose is?
I knew that.
You remember the
I
definition?
did that too.
Yeah. Purpose.
We did all the songs.
Same word that's in 1 Chronicles 28 when he said, serve y'all with a perfect heart and a willing mind. Delight. So that's the same word that's there. Does say he's read it to him again.
17. It said, I said in my heart, Elohim shall judge the righteous and the wicked.
So he gonna do what?
Judge the righteous and the wicked.
Go ahead.
For there is a time.
There's a what?
A time.
And what?
There for every purpose and for every word.
So he said there's a time for him to delight and judge it. See, give him Revelation 18. I jumped my tailbone. I can't. My fella, bone. Ain't got no fella. I ain't no woman. That's Nelly them talking about shake a tail fella. That nigga really had a song called Am I Lying? Shoot, they had some nigga, it was some nigga dropped down and got his eagle on in the video, boy, that nigga ought to been shanked. No, recent new video, young nigga. Nigga was rapping in the kitchen, that nigga just dropped down and got his eagle on. Yeah.
That nigga did twerk in the kitchen.
That nigga twerk, boy. How you a dope boy twerking? This generation, they hit him went to hell in a handbasket. Same way that nigga was rapping with that wedding dress on. Holding the AK-47. And my day, the only person wore a wedding dress was Dennis Rodman and Ricky Williams. Oh yeah, you know Ricky Williams got on the cover of ESPN the magazine with a red dress on. Him and Mike Dicker. Yeah, it was 1999.
I remember that one. But Ricky, he used to be wrong NFL street, boy.
Come
Y'all,
on.
my niggas be
Now that nigga raw.
That was my nigga.
so- He don't lie.
Yo, my nigga, come on, man, let's roll. I got a lot today.
That Revelation 18.
18 and 20.
It says, rejoice over her, thou Shamahim, and Kadash Kadashim, and prophets. For Elohim have avenged you on her. And a mighty Malakim took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus, with violence shall the great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all.
Go ahead.
And the voice of the harpers and musicians and of the pipers and the trumpeters shall be heard no more at all in thee. And no craftsman of whatsoever craft he be shall be found any more in thee. And the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee.
Go ahead.
And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee. And the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For the merchants were the great men of the earth. For by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. And in her was found the blood of the prophets and the blood of the Kadeshim and of all that which were slain upon the land.
Go ahead. Just real into verse 19.
And after these things, I heard a great voice of much people in Shamahim saying, Hallelujah, salvation and esteem, honor and power unto Yahuwah Elohim. For truth and righteousness are his judgments, for he hath judged the great whore which did corrupt the rights with her fornication.
See, now, the reason why I took this direction, right? You look at verse 17. When he judged in Babylon, you see it was a time and place for him to judge them both, the righteous and the wicked at the same time. The wicked getting their recompense and the righteous getting their reward. Get me Hebrews 9 and 26. Hebrews 9 and 26.
With the sheep on one side and the goats on
What
the
am I
other.
doing?
Tie in with that.
Yeah. Because I definitely am judging the wicked and the righteous at the same time. Which is basically what we're going to look at in Hebrews 9. Which goes into what I was talking about with our brother down south the other night. Where we were telling like nigga around here thinking that Yahushua coming to straighten stuff out. That man ain't coming to straighten nothing out. Because ain't nothing to talk about.
Talk about Hebrews, that man.
9 and 26.
I done departed from him.
Yeah. See, I'm telling you, see, that give a nigga a false sense of hope. Yahushua gonna straighten all this out when he get back. So that give nigga that room to be wicked. Not to saying that anybody who says that is wicked, but that could fall into somebody harder. I don't got to be diligent. I ain't got to be steadfast. Because even if I'm wrong, he gonna straighten me and correct me, and then I can still roll on in. And that's not how they work. That's not how they work. See, you know the difference? The reason why he took them in the wilderness the first time is because they knew absolutely nothing. They looking at it, oh, we in America all this time, but guess what though? Y'all in America with all these people teaching this word. You in Central and South America, everybody teaching this word. So if everybody out here teaching this word, then that means you're not in the same scenario that you were in when you were coming out of Egypt. They didn't have nothing. They didn't even know who Yah was. That's why niggas push the quote-unquote awakening so strong. That preach that gospel and save a life. There's going to be a lot of niggas like this here. These niggas really think somebody going to be standing when y'all try to come back with your 12 tribes. Hondurians over here, my Zebulon brother. No, somebody died. Somebody's dying. 9 and 24. Hebrew.
For the Mashiach is not entered into the Kadash places made with hands, which are the figures of the true, but unto Shamahim itself, now to appear in the presence of Elohim for us. Nor yet that he should offer himself often as a high priest entered into the Kadash place every year with blood of others, the blood of others. For then must he often have suffered since the foundation of the world. But now once in the end of the world hath he appeared to put away sin.
To put away what?
Put away sin.
To put away what?
Sin.
Read that verse again from the top.
It says, nor yet that he should offer himself often as the high.
Hold on, pause. That he shouldn't do what? Offer himself often, right? So when we look at there's a place of judgment and righteousness in there, iniquity is there. So when these dudes say this man coming back to straighten stuff out, you saying he coming back to offer himself again. That's what you're saying. You're saying that this man gonna come back to be a sacrifice for sin again because you done had it wrong. That's not what he's coming to do. That's not what he's gonna do. Go ahead.
So that's saying, he's pretty much saying I'm not coming frequently like the high priest every time.
So lame. I did it one time. I'm in the Kadesh Tabernacle right now making intercession on your behalf for sin. So when I slide back through here the second time, I'm appearing the second time without sin under salvation. I ain't talking. Finish it for him. Started from the top.
He said, nor yet that he shall offer himself often as the high priest entered into the Kadash place every year with the blood of others. For when ye must often have suffered since the foundation of the world.
See how they say he suffered from when?
The foundation of the world.
We already looked at that, right? Last night and the week before. He suffered from the foundation of the world. He was slain. So he suffered from the foundation of the world until that day that they took him till he went to Jessamine, till he got to the judgment hall, till he got to the stake. And that goes back to the Anah. Remember, I seen the travail of the inyan, the occupation and task that Elohim has exercised the sons of Adam in. He's already been afflicted, humbled, and oppressed. if he got to come and straighten you out, then that means he got to be afflicted, humbled, and oppressed again. And that's not happening. That's not happening. Go ahead.
Verse 26.
9 and 26, Hebrews.
It said, for then he must often have suffered since the foundation of the world, but now once in the end of the world.
At the what?
The end of the world.
At the what?
The end of the world.
What's going to happen?
And he appeared to put away sin.
To
by
put
the
away what?
sacrifice of himself.
He been put away what?
Sin.
Put it away. So that means when he...
Hey, go lay down. Go lay down. Huh? Who?
So think about that. He's appearing the second time without sin under salvation to put away sin. Remember, Yahuwah is a man of war. So he's not coming to straighten or correct anything. Remember, it's a time of peace and a what? Time of war. So why at a time of war is he coming to bring peace? That don't make sense, do it? Who bring peace in a time of war? Nobody. And he ain't bringing no peace. Peacetime over. I'm trying to think of what the verse is in my head. But that's what he came and told him. And when he quoted him in Isaiah, you know, Yah has sent me to preach good tidings. The good tidings of shalom. You know what I'm saying? When the gospel is being preached, that is a time of peace. That man ain't coming to preach no gospel in no time of war. He ain't come to preach no gospel. See, these dudes want us to believe that Yahushua gonna come back, preach the gospel to us while warring with everybody else. But 1 Peter 3, give him verse 18. We come right back to Hebrews 9. That's why he say give all diligence. You gotta be diligent. You got to have a sense of like I say, having a sense of urgency is different from rushing. Having a sense of urgency is moving with a purpose. You know what I'm saying? I have something I have to accomplish, and I don't have all day to be putting it off. Rushing is I'm just moving fast, and I'm really not paying attention to what I'm doing. Everybody should move with a sense of urgency. Because that goes into what we were discussing the other night. When you move with a sense of urgency, you don't put things off. Because when you put it off, you're not going to do it. If you know it need to be done, you get up and you handle that right then. Because I know this needs to be accomplished. Go ahead, buddy. 3 and 18.
For Mashiach also have once suffered for sin, the just for the unjust, that he might bring us unto Elohim, being put to death in the flesh, but quickened by the Ruach, by which also he went and preached unto the Ruachs in prison, which sometime were disobedient, when once the long suffering of Elohim waited in the days of Noah, while the ark was preparing, wherein few, that is 8 souls, were saved by water.
Only a few were saved.
The like figure whereunto even baptism does also now save us. Not to put away the filth of the flesh,
But having a good conscience.
but having a good conscience towards Elohim by the resurrection of Yahushua HaMashiach,
Go ahead.
who is gone into Shamahim, and who is on the right hand of Elohim,
I might have wanted chapter 4, but it's all good.
Malachim and authorities and power being made subject.
I wanted
unto
chapter 4, man. Give me verse 14.
It says, if ye be reproached of the name of Mashiach, happy are ye,
Mhm.
for the Ruach and esteem of Elohim rested upon you.
Yep.
And on their part he is evil spoken of, but on your part he is esteemed.
Mm-hmm.
But let none of you suffer as a murderer, or as a thief, or as an evildoer, or as a busybody in other men's matters. Yet if any man suffer as a Christian, or as a Yahudim, let him not be ashamed, but let him be esteemed in Elohim on his behalf.
Yes, sir.
For the same time is come that judgment must begin at the house of Elohim. And if it first began at us, what shall the end of them be that
Where
obey not
judgment
the
gonna
sword
begin
of
at?
Elohim?
Where judgment gonna begin at? At the house of Elohim. So he doing. Let me ask you a question. Y'all familiar with the Yeah, I feel you, man. Just brother D say he struggled with. You don't want to procrastinate. Procrastination is not good, because procrastination is a sign of two things: either that particular activity is not important to you, Or it's also a sign of low self-esteem that you don't feel like you have the ability to accomplish it, and that's why you keep putting it off. Do you know what I'm saying? But anybody familiar with the story in Ezekiel 9 to be specific? What's in that story in Ezekiel 9, Stanley?
That's the one where he sent the Malachim to kill everyone in the city, babies.
And where did he start at?
With the house.
At the house, at that temple. Did he do any talking with them?
They just start killing.
He just started killing. Once that man peacetime is over, once that's over with, that's over with. When this man is sending people to teach the word, that's your peacetime. Come back to Hebrews 9. Don't let nobody convince you that man sliding back through talking about, let me pull you in the wilderness and teach you these precepts. I have to straighten out all the confusion that you brothers had. He said Elohim is not the author of confusion. So if you confused, it ain't got nothing to do with him. Back to Hebrews 9. We're in verse 26. 9 to 26.
It says, for then must he often have suffered since the foundation of the world, but now once in the end of the world hath he appeared to put away sin by the sacrifice of himself. And as it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this the judgment.
The what?
After this the judgment.
Uh-huh.
So Mashiach was once offered to bear the sins of many, and unto them that look for him shall he appear the second time without sin unto salvation.
That's what he coming back to do, is to save. Not to teach, not to straighten, but to save. That's all he coming back for. Ain't nothing to talk about. You know what I'm saying? What is there to talk about? Oh, you brothers didn't have that polygamy thing right. Let me straight. He gonna be like this here. Shoot, if you ain't have it right, because I ain't want you to have it right. Off go your head if that's his prerogative. You know what I'm saying? Dudes don't want to hear that. Some brothers look at it, well, it's in the law, ain't nothing wrong with it. That very well may be true. Adultery, divorce is in the law too, but you know that man ain't with it. You know that man ain't with it. You know what I'm saying? Niggas ought to consider and weigh. Do they really believe in the Mashiach? Or they really, that's the example of the spirit of the law and the letter of the law. The letter of the law say that's what you can do. The spirit of the law, that wasn't the intent. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the difference. Are you working in Elohim, or is you gonna boast in the law? And hey, that's how you feel, that's how you feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been to niggas like they say, you can have more than one wife. You surely can, brother. I'm not finna argue with you about it. You know what I'm saying? You can do what you want to do. That's what you got to sit back and look at. Nigga want to be evil. It ain't even just got to be arguing about no doctrine. Nigga want to do stuff he ain't got no business. Well, shoot, you can do what you want to do. I done told you once, I done told you twice. I ain't finna keep telling you the same thing over and over again. Clearly, that's your desire. Live with it. You know what I'm saying? Swim in it. You know what I'm saying? Do whatever it is that you do. Come on back to Ecclesiastes chapter 3. I gotta look at that. That's what people be messing up at. I gotta turn my people to the truth, or I gotta get this woman or this man to do this here. You ain't gotta get nobody to do nothing, because you can't get nobody to do nothing. People gonna do what they want to do, whether it's right or whether it's wrong. You can't get nobody to do nothing. That's why I told y'all that last night. Everything come down to desire and commitment. If that's what you desire to do and you committed to do it, then you gonna do it. It ain't gonna. Nobody words is gonna make you do that in your heart. That's what you got. That got to be in you. That got to be your desire. Come on, man. We ain't over 30 minutes in. Dang, they cut the do on.
What? That jump hit hard too. Ooh.
That nigga hits his little mustard man. Ooh.
I'm ready though.
Come on, man.
We're at 18?
Give me 17 again. Ecclesiastes 3 and 17.
It said, I said in my heart, Elohim shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time there for every purpose and for every work.
Come on, verse 18.
I said in my heart concerning the estate of the Son of Man.
He said in his heart concerning the what?
Estate of the
Pause.
Son of Man.
When we look at estate, that word is debra. It's your cause, it's your manner, it's your reason. You know, you got a dollar, the ba, the rosh, and the hay. And we're going to look at that as, and I didn't tell you what the place was, but for place, that would be that blood secured the light of life. So when you see that righteousness, in the place of righteousness, iniquity was there, his blood secured you the light of life. And since I was so remiss to overlook that, give me 1 John 1 and 3 to clean that up real quick. I knew that's why I had to read 7. Well, no, that was in what? Verse 16. Hey, but she writing in her notebook. He writing in her notebook. I don't know if she want him to do that. And on her phone.
It says that which we have seen and have and heard declare we unto you, that ye also may have fellowship with us. And truly our fellowship is with the Abba and with the Son, Yahushua Mashiach. And these things write we unto you, that your joy may be full. This then is the message which we have heard of him,
This is the message.
and declared unto you,
We tell it to you.
that Elohim is light.
He's what?
Is light.
He's what?
Is light.
And what else?
And in him no darkness is at all.
No darkness.
If we say that we have fellowship with him and walk in darkness, we lie and do not tell the truth, and do not the truth.
So guess what? If you say you walk in light, but you do things that are evil, you tell a bold-faced lie. Bold-faced lie. Come on.
But if we walk in the light, as he is in the light, we have fellowship one with another, and the blood of Yahushua Mashiach, his son, cleanses us
You
from
see this
all
here?
sin.
So his blood allowed you to secure and grab hold of what? The light of life. Because what did John tell you in John chapter 1? In him was light, and the light was the light of men. So that blood secured that. See, without that, and that goes back to what we read in Hebrews 9, without that blood, eternal life is not secured. So he had to be exercised. He had to have a job where he was going to be oppressed and humiliated, so his blood could secure you this light of life, so you could be secured the Ruach HaKodesh. And again, I kept telling y'all that I hope you were paying attention to some of the references from last night and right now, because it's going to go into what we're going to finish this off with. Come on back to where you was at, which was Ecclesiastes chapter 3. So again, when we look at a state, the cause and manner and reason of man, and you have that the Dibra, the Dalit, the Bat, the Rosh, and the Hay, we turn around and we see, you know what? Now we're going to reveal the entrance to the highest. Because this is the cause and the state of man. Read it to him again, verse 18.
I said in my heart concerning the state of the sons of men, that Elohim might manifest them, that they might see that they themselves are beasts.
Now, might manifest them, right? So when we look at that in English, it'll just say what this here, right? That he might manifest to you that what? That you carnal. You know what I'm saying? That you would understand that you need salvation. But the word for might manifest is barar. And that word means to purify, to select, to test, to prove, to cleanse, to make bright, and to show oneself pure. So that means that he says that it says, I see it said in my heart concerning the estates of sons of men, that Elohim might test and prove them, that they might see themselves as beasts. So guess what? If he tests and he prove you, then guess what you're going to end up seeing? What you going to end up seeing if he tests and prove you? He going to humble you. That you can see that you are not as great as you think you are. So when we look at that barar, and you have the Bat and two Rashes, it's the highest thoughts will cause you to be in the Son. Now his mind, his thoughts are going to allow you to dwell in his Son. Why is that important? John 6:44.
Because I'm use that only for Genesis.
Who?
When he said he made the beast of the field.
Who, that what your cousin used?
Yeah.
Well, your cousin trash, boy. Call that nigga
You know he
BFW.
used that for though.
For what?
See, he made other people. See, we're beasts. See, he made the beast of the field. He made other people.
Beast is a beast. He
said.
No, he just saying his cousin say that word mean that when he say beast, that means other people. When he said sealer, that he said he might manifest that they themselves are beasts or carnal,
Right.
brutish, if you will.
He said when we made Adam. See, that's the righteous seed. See, all the otherness is a beast.
I don't know how niggas say that there when we could come outside right now and see some Israelite bulldaggers and homosexuals, adulterers, fornicators, whoremongers, liars, and thieves, and idolaters of all type. It's all manner of ill repute going on not too far from here. Shoot, and once that game over with, the ill repute gonna crank up exponentially. That game gonna be over. They gonna go to the land. They gonna be charging nigga $20 to get in, and they gonna be doing all manner of wicked. Oh yeah, they charge to get in the land in Florida, Georgia.
They said it was 10.
The 10. I thought they might kick it up or not. You know, the kind.
Look at all the game, depending on who wins.
Shoot, don't matter who
They gonna
wins.
pay to get in there.
Yeah, they gonna pay to get in there. Shoot, land of love this weekend. If we don't make no money there another time out of the year, we gonna make it this week.
The Mavericks was that the name?
And guess what they gonna be doing? Half naked. They don't care if it was 10 degrees out there, they coming out there half naked.
Oh, they don't have no oil in their blood. They ain't gonna matter.
Little oil. It's gonna be a lot of like this here. It's gonna be a lot of uncleanliness going on all night. All night. And guess what? When they get finished with that, and they gonna have their uncleanliness, they Druid celebration. Sure, little Halloween. I just seen a nigga post something that say Halloween was all right because voodoo was practiced with it. I said, well, these niggas going too far. I'm still tripping on niggas still posting about why you shouldn't keep Halloween. Because you been in the word 15 years. Leave them people alone. You still posting about that cuz? I'm not finna post a nigga talking about Halloween and wicked. If they ain't figured it out, they ain't gonna never figure it out. I'm good. Every year, same junk. Boy, when my homegirl say Jesus ain't gonna be mad, you let them kids keep Halloween. He sure ain't gonna be mad. Yahoo Shah, another conversation. But go ahead and celebrate it. Shoot, dress them up. It's for the kids. Nah, it's for the kids then. I see it. You say it's for the kids. Shoot. Go get you some candy.
You sound like Clyde. You sound just like Clyde.
Straight up. I ain't mad at you. Go on and get it. Big grown nigga dressing up. That's the crazy part now. They showed a clip. The Blazers played a couple nights ago. Dame Lillard came as Stone Cold Steve Austin. Another player came as Tyrone Biggums. Nigga, you 30-something years old. Nigga dressing up. That nigga looked like Tyrone Biggums though. All those sides. That nigga had the junk on the lips and everything. Niggas always talking about this for the kids. I see more grown people dress up than anybody. Kids don't trick or treat no more.
Celebrities. You don't see a lot of grown dressing like celebrities.
Oh, you'll see grown people go all the way out with it. Ain't just no celebrities. Boy, these niggas will dress up as anything. Niggas living their childhood. I don't know if y'all ever listen to Stillmatic. Nas had a song called Second Childhood. That's what them niggas doing. Nigga reliving their childhood.
What the day is for?
What, Halloween? What the day is? The 27th? It's on Wednesday.
Dang. That's what I was asking.
Guess what? We were just talking about this the other day. Because guess what? Because them kids in school, and guess what they've been talking about? Well, walking with Cy Muffy talking about, we want a Halloween costume. I told that's of the devil. Y'all hate Halloween. Now say it with me. I did though. And we walked around that block and I had them say it at least 6 times back to back. Now say it with me. Our God don't like Halloween. That's of the devil. That's white people stuff. You let them have that. They seen them pumpkins in the yard. Halloween. Y'all know about doggone Christ. Huh? No. That's why that stinks. Come here, Stank. Come here, Leah. Come give me a hug. But I've been telling her that for the longest, though. She knows it. And guess what? You should teach them that and be bold with it. And guess what? You should. And if the teacher comes, you shouldn't say that. My God hated. That's what you ought to tell him. And when they call you to that schoolhouse, well, that's what we teach him. And our God do hate it. Now you stop talking to my child about it. Because now I'm telling, I taught it to him, nigga. You got a problem with it? Put him in another class. You supposed to teach them to be that bold. Our law tells us that they supposed to be that bold. They shouldn't have no fear. I wouldn't care if it was a teacher. Just tell them to do it respectfully. Our God hate Halloween. What wrong did they say? Because the teacher offended? Because this 5-year-old child, this 3-year-old child, just told them this other devil? That's the only thing hurt. The teacher feelings hurt. Niggas in the cold. We need to check on them. We gonna send DCF out there. Send them out there. I'm gonna tell them crying the same thing. Come on and sit down. I'll tell you something. Let me open up this book. Let me show you. See this here? This stuff the devil.
They want you good at Banner School.
I believe it.
There's a say she a mother. She definitely was in her costume the other day.
Who had on the costume?
I ain't seen it. I ain't been up.
It was pajama day.
Man, I've been told them to stop sending me these days, pajama days, and out here teach my child come out the house in her night clothes. Thought ain't no whore. No, that's what I'm talking about.
Big silk pajamas on.
Yeah, I get all that, but I would have told them crackers, don't you be teaching my child to come outside with no night clothes on. My daughter ain't no whore.
Damn fool.
Man, I don't trust nothing them European got going on. Well, all of a sudden you want my kid to come all dressed up in some pajamas. I don't trust you crackers. Why y'all want little kids to come in here with their night clothes on? Okay, I get that for the kids, but why grown people want these children to come to school with pictures? I don't care what who they work with. And like these grown people don't let children. They just lock the crack up at Terry Parker for it. Oh. Man, I don't care what that means. Shoot, no nigga, elementary school, high school. Why you want my children coming here with pajamas on? Shoot, daycare, elementary, middle school. I don't trust none of them people. They all touch children. Yeah, I don't trust none of that. I want to know what's the purpose that you want my children to come here in their night clothes. You know what I'm saying? Why would even a grown person think that up, that that's a bright idea to send young children to school in their night clothes? That's my point.
Yeah, why though? Yeah, why?
I didn't say right or wrong. I want to know what's your rationale and thought process that you want to see 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 15-year-old children come to school in their night clothes. When you say this is a quote-unquote professional environment that you're preparing them for life, what's the purpose of that? That's all I'm asking. To me, that doesn't make any sense. So I would want a rational explanation for that.
I mean, in high school, I feel like it's the kids' idea. That's on the home board.
I can give you that because they definitely did crazy stuff like that when I was in high school.
Yeah, the other grades I can't count.
Yeah, I can't come for this.
Because the whole day is usually themed towards Johnny watching movies.
Okay, I understand that, but my plan is not the movies. What grown person thought in their mind that this was a great idea for young children to come to school in their night clothes?
The kids would probably enjoy it.
Yeah, but see, I don't trust grown people.
I mean, then at that point, why would you say it?
If I had the choice, I wouldn't.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
But it ain't because of that. Because the reason of that, and we getting off time, I move on. The reason of that is I don't trust nothing from no public school system or the government. So I'm wondering why you doing anything, and everybody in this room should feel the same way. Because at the end of the day, you can't tell me you don't trust this part of the system, but you okay with that part of the system. It's all a part of the same thing for the same cause. So my mind is always, I'm suspicious of you. Why should I trust you? Why should I trust the Duval County public school system? But I'm talking about, but it ain't even just that there. If we say we godly people, or you say you quote unquote woke or whatever the case may be, why do you trust any school system anywhere? Why do I trust anything any government entity has to do or has to say? I'm going to be suspicious. You know why I'm suspicious? Because these people have never told the truth and had the good and right interest of anybody from its inception. So I want to know what is the purpose of this activity. That's all I'm saying. Now, that's why I said I never said it was right or wrong. I want to know what is your rationale in thinking. And that's so then I'm looking at this here. If you don't have, and I'm not saying you like you don't have one, then who came up with this idea for these little kids to do this? But I know elementary and middle school kids ain't coming up with that. Okay, I get that. But why wouldn't it, just because kids think something cool don't mean an adult should go along with it. It's a lot of things kids think are cool, that don't mean you should go along with it. Well, I don't trust none of these people. You know the reason why I say that? They may think it cool, but at the same token, it's grown people who are predators that teach kids that age. And they think it's cool too. No, we talking about that age. Hey, look at it, they'll love it. Get off on it. Get off on it. And I ain't finna send mine around there with it. Hey, the one thing about it, boy, I know this world wicked, and I just don't look at it. It ain't a big deal. And I don't trust them people. And never have. And never have. Especially our children, because I know they don't care nothing about us. And that's documented. You know what I'm saying? They don't care nothing about us. And the whole system is set up to send us to prison. The whole school system set up that that's where you go. That's how they set it up.
I seen that.
That's how they set it up.
Pick them up on Friday.
They do not care about us.
Just in uniform, single file line.
It's conditioning. It's conditioning. I mean, I don't know if any of y'all ever looked at it. I've looked at it numerous times in different variations. That prison to pipeline thing is dead serious and it's real. It's not a joke and it's not a game. I seen it when I was in school. If you missed a point or two, then they put you in, what that junk was called back then? ESE. But these niggas wasn't slow. These niggas could read.
I mean, they do that now. They just put you on remedial class.
You know what I'm saying? Nigga do something. You the first one to get suspended. They do all this stuff to eventually you drop out of school and maybe you go to committing crimes and we can lock you up. Them people is not here for us. And I don't care what them crimes, I don't care how they clean it up, make it smile, did that in the third. Well, I know they not here for us. This place was not made for us. I just be cautious. I don't trust them people. I'm talking about everything. I seen a brother on my page the other day. He said he was voting for, what that white dude name is? DeSantis, and everybody went for him. That nigga said the only reason why you voting for Gillum because he black. That nigga said, give me 3 policies he got. Niggas couldn't say nothing. You got niggas voting for this nigga because he went to FAMU. You know that's the dumbest thing to do? You gonna vote for a nigga because he went to FAMU. You don't even know what a nigga stand for. But that's what niggas do. I seen that woman Angela Ray get on the radio and say niggas should just vote because they Democrats. I said that's the dumbest thing in the world. That's what nigga tell you to do though. Just blindly trust the system that has shown you since 1619 they don't care nothing about you. I'm telling you, be aware. Not just sit back and be be aware. I'm telling you to be aware. I ain't saying don't send the kids in school in pajamas. I'm telling you to be aware. What's the purpose and rhyme and reason of y'all doing this? Because we know these are sick people.
I feel like you have to be aware, but I feel like at the same time, people are not educated, but they don't teach their kids. So
I mean, that's why a lot of them don't send their children.
I feel like definitely should trust our. We should trust our nothing, but I feel like at the same time, people are not gonna. They don't have patience with their own kids. They're not gonna teach your own kids everything to teach them.
I mean, but I went through Duval County Public Schools. Them people ain't teach me nothing. I learned more on my own than I ever did through the 12 years I went through that. They ain't teach me nothing. You know what I'm saying? Not nothing of no consequence. That junk was a waste of time. Because I see dudes who say that they ought to teach us how to manage taxes and all. Because these niggas get out of school and they was dumb as they was when they started. I ain't gonna say school should teach no life skills, but shoot, that junk a waste of time.
I learned more in your class.
I mean, but that's not the school job. You should teach your kids how to read before they even get there. But that's on them. That's who. Then you the sorry bastard for waiting on somebody else to do that for you. You got time to do anything you want, and you want to make time for. If you got to commit, if you committed and desire to do something, you make the time for it. Because a lot of these people who say they ain't got time for it, got time to shake their butt somewhere. A lot of people say they ain't got time for it, ragged behind down here talking about Florida, Georgia, right now. All I'm saying is that's an excuse. And see, we gonna be dealing with that. Like, excuses are for losers and vaginas. That's what excuses are for. And that's their fault, because it's not the state's job to teach your children. And nor should you even have it in your mind that that's their job. At least I can understand calculus and math, but they should be reading before they even get there. That's your job, teaching niggas how to read. But if they ain't got to figure out the time to teach their kids how to read, why you even having children? Shoot, if you don't even send them to grandma, send them to somebody. Don't wait on Mr. Charlie to teach them how to read. Something, bare minimum. Them children smarter than that. They don't wait for Mr. Charlie to do it. That's just lazy. That's just lazy. For real, that's just lazy. You know what I'm saying? You know the reason why I say this here? Because if a nigga can spend 30 minutes, 60 minutes scrolling on their phone, watching a television show, watching a movie, you could have spent that same time teaching that child how to read. You know what I'm saying? So that's an excuse. You just don't want to do it. Oh yeah, he say if you send your kids to your enemies to be taught, don't be shocked when they come home stupid. You know what I'm saying? And that's our thing is we commit our trust to our enemies to teach our children. And we don't want to have now I'm not saying everybody you're a trained educator. That's a little different. But there's certain things that anybody can teach their children if they have the desire to do so. People just don't have the desire to do it.
I also feel like in here
You ain't got to do it 3 hours. You ain't got to do it 3. You ain't got to do it 3 hours. My mama worked all the time. My mama worked all the time. She still came home and taught me.
It don't take no 30 minutes.
But guess what? I ain't saying no about no time. I'm talking about the effort. Niggas ain't even putting in no effort, and we got excuses and reasons not to do it. Instead of saying, I'm going to do it. And that's why I say excuses are for losers and vaginas. Winners are not going to make an excuse. I'm going to find a way to get this done. You know what I'm saying? So as a people, we have to change our mindset and say, I'm going to find a way to get this done. If it ain't but 30 minutes a day, it's 30 minutes more than what I gave them.
It don't take long. Think about when we was in high school, man. We used to be in class 50 minutes, 45 minutes. And you're not learning that whole time. They in there taking roll, doing this, doing that. When you really was in there 30 minutes in that class. Especially when we was doing 7-6 periods in high school. How much you was really learning?
Nothing.
I was gonna say, baby, I know that's what
No. I'm not saying no listen. I wasn't saying that you weren't learning. I was saying the time that it takes for you to teach somebody about something. If you was in history for 30, 45 minutes,
Because I know when I was in elementary
that's
school,
all
we
it
learned
takes. So if
the
you
whole
teaching
time.
your child one thing a week and you teaching them 30 minutes, that's the same amount of time they'd be getting if they was going to a school where they rotate 6 classes in a day. That's all.
I had 7.
It was like 6, 7 classes, and we was in there like 45 minutes.
Because you had block scheduling. So we had block scheduling by the time I graduated, but we started with 7.
We did. I ain't gonna lie, we did.
No,
like
she had block scheduling.
45 minutes.
You had for one semester you had 4 classes. When that semester ended, you got another 4 classes. And then when that semester ended, you got another 4 classes. Or it would be 2 90-day semesters with 4 classes, and then the last 90 days it would be 4 different classes. And each class period would be an hour and a half. You know what I'm saying? Because they did that when I graduated. We was on block. But let's roll though. Let's roll. Come on. Well, we got off the track a little bit. John what?
3, 4, 3, 3. John 3.
No, I ain't after John 3. I after John 1. I just mentioned John 1.
Oh.
Yeah, we might have been back in the Ecclesiastes. Yeah, you already know, before I even got in the word, I'm an individual who has a strong distaste and distrust for the entire United States government system. Always have.
Yeah, bird.
Got that young too, because I read. So I don't trust them. And I done seen it in action. And many different levels. And it's a horrible thing to see it and break your heart. I've seen it in the education side. I've seen it in the law enforcement side. I've seen it in the job market side. That junk will break your heart. It'll break your heart. You know what I'm saying? You see how people get dead? That junk break your heart. Straight up. Like I joke about that time period when Cuz was in there talking about they told him to get 15 years and he was like, tell your mammy to sign it. But that junk broke my heart. That man sized that man because he couldn't read. So he felt like he could try him like that. And I seen a billboard of that same attorney, David Taylor. One of the most low-down, dirtiest bastards you'll ever see. You know what I'm saying? Then the same person walk back in there and say, oh, here go 8 months. So how we go from 15 years to 8 months? You know what I'm saying? They size nigga like that. Like I've seen it, they say the average reading level of an individual incarcerated in the Duval County Jail was 5th grade. You know what I'm saying? So they try you any kind of way. And that system is set up so you could get to that point. And my point is we have to stop trusting them people that they really care about our children when we know they don't. We know they don't. So we just can't live like that. So that means that you can't give yourself totally over to trust they're going to do certain things. That means if I have, that goes back to what we were talking about with love is, if I have to sacrifice me doing A, B, C, and D so my child can get that, then that's what I'm going to do. Because he didn't ask to be here. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm looking at what I need to do from him as a burden and a pulling away from what I want to do. And that's not love, that's selfish. Period. You know what I'm saying? And ain't no way around that. Because guess what? Yahushua ain't make no excuses. He went around and fed his. That's what he did. Your God told you you're supposed to teach your children his word, so why are we supposed to teach them everything else? That's not their job. And I felt like that long before I got in the word. That's not their job. Them people ain't teach me nothing. I'm talking about absolutely nothing. Then everything they teach you is from a Eurocentric point of view. And you know this. You know what I'm saying? And you know this. Everything they teach us from a Eurocentric point of view. We're not Europeans.
You talking about that?
No, I'm talking about everything. The whole school system is set up, period, from a Eurocentric Anglo-Saxon viewpoint. It's not set up on a viewpoint of quote-unquote African children. It's not set up for them.
What about like math and science?
Math and science is universal, but even their way of teaching it is taught in a fashion that applies to Anglo-Saxons and not how black people learn. Because if you do actually, they've done research on this here, all the nations learn differently. They all don't learn the same. We don't learn like how white people learn.
Yeah, they say to be smart in America, you gotta
I don't take it
memorize it.
personal, but when you say that, I don't.
But you know, right, you're thinking it as an individual or people you know, like as a whole.
Instead of the system.
Whole
No,
school system
but when you
is
say,
America.
but when you say those people don't, I don't.
We're talking about the system. You thinking on the individual level. The system as a
It's
whole,
not set up for people.
they don't care about us.
And I feel like in general, I totally agree, but I feel like in general, you feel that way. But it's people's jobs, and people sit there in school and they feel like you're supposed to, that's your job. I totally agree.
That-
People send their kids to school and feel like they're going to school, you teach them everything, I bring them home.
That's horrible.
I agree.
That's horrible.
I totally
That's
agree.
horrible.
But that's the way, that's the reason. it
But
happens.
that's no
That's
excuse.
what the average parent.
But that's no excuse. And you know why is that? And they set it up that way to be that way for you to give control over what your children learn to the government so they can be indoctrinated. Do you know what I'm saying? That's not cool. And my point is, we're not Caucasians. So then we should not even have that thought process to even think that way. I can see if a Caucasian thought that way.
They send their kids to private school, certain of them, they'll send them to public school.
Some of them do.
You shouldn't do it. It's dumb to give your child somebody and think that. But I
They
mean,
pick what.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I get that. I get all that. But what I'm saying is just like the quote what Malcolm said, we are sending your child to your oppressors and you're expecting your oppressor to make your child equal or greater than them. And they're not gonna do it. That defeats the purpose.
Definitely teach what they do.
I'm not gonna make your child equal or greater than mine. Then that means you'll overthrow my system. That don't make no sense. Why did Pharaoh want to kill Yasharal when we was in Egypt?
Because it was too many of them.
It was too many of y'all. Y'all gonna overtake us. I can't never let you get equal with me. So I'm never gonna give your children the same quality of education. Guess what? All the libraries we done been to, this is the only library with a police officer in it.
A real police.
A real police officer. JSO.
Right.
Pistol on his hip. But guess what that's doing? That's putting a thought process in their brain of how they ought to be treated and what they ought to see everywhere they go. Because you're not going to see no police officer in Mandarin with
The
that.
first time we came, it wasn't. It was a regular security meeting.
You know what I'm saying? But my point of that is that guess what? They'll make the excuse, it's crime around here. Ain't none of these niggas finna come pull up and shoot up no library. Just to shoot up the library? Man, if this library gets shot, it's because a nigga shooting somewhere else.
But them just probably be in the bucket.
Because of kids.
Right.
Yeah, them just probably live in the
I
bucket.
mean,
There's a lot of
you
kids.
see the rest, like, you don't see this many kids.
Yeah, check that out.
I seen a lot of kids at every library I've been to.
There ain't never been that many kids in the
Well, I'm gonna say maybe not on no Saturday, but I've been to several libraries and there's young kids in them and all.
All the libraries we done been to,
You know what I'm
this
saying?
library got the most black kids in it.
I'm
There's
telling
more
you.
kids in there than adults, period.
University Club did too.
Man, I seen that little section back there.
No, that ain't no supervising. They just in there. All they is on the computer. Them kids be at university in there on the computer. Just like I said, them kids be on there on 103rd on the computer.
They don't-
It's just as much shooting on 103rd as it is over
You
here.
have them here, though, people from loitering around. You never know.
But that could be any library though. But I'm sitting there telling you though that when you go to the hood, look how we rationalize the thought process of how they handle us.
No, I wasn't saying that because of that. I was just saying that's a good look though. Like that is that many kids in the library. Like this not a like you said, this not a place where it's violence. Like them kids, this is a place where kids can come and be safe. You know what I'm saying, and be somewhere positive for the day. You know what I'm saying? It's not a place where you would.
I can see the regular security guard, police officer ain't necessary.
No, I don't think it is either.
He's definitely paid to be here. Or he wouldn't be here. But they got plenty of security guards. No doubt. More than likely. Come on. It was the first time we was here. Ma, you ain't been here. There was one. There was one. There was one. Yeah, there was. Come on, man. We got to get on. Let's roll. But trust me, there was one. We saw them. They definitely had a white shirt on. What you got?
3 and 19.
Yeah, read that for me. 3 and 18. Well, we look at this here, right? Yeah, that's what I want. So let's sit back. I mean, it just what it was. It was John 6 and 44.
I told you that.
No, you just said John 6. You didn't say 44. That would have caused me to remember.
I don't even think you gave me a verse, bro. I think you said.
I did say John 6 and
My
44.
book turned to John 6.
Mine was on John 6 too. So at that point.
No, the verse would have caused me to
My
remember.
bad, bro.
The chapter definitely didn't cause me.
You said I ain't asked for John. That's what you said.
I know that, but if you'd have said 44, I might have remembered. I might have remembered.
John, bro.
Shoot, you ain't remember. Because you ain't
I
remember
already
the verse.
said that.
But you ain't had a verse.
I ain't called for
He
it.
gave you the alley.
Shoot, he's supposed to remember.
He said he gave you the alley.
No hoop, though.
He's supposed to remember. 6 and 44.
No man can come to me except the Father which has sent me draw him.
No man can do what?
No man can come to me except the Father which has
So
sent
that's the
me
highest
draw him.
thoughts is what's going to cause you to be. He got to cause you to come. Come on with it.
And I will raise him up at the last day.
Go ahead.
It is written in the prophet.
What's written in the prophet, man?
And they shall be taught. They shall be all taught of Elohim.
What they going to be taught?
Every man therefore that have heard and have learned of the Father cometh unto me.
You see how the highest thoughts? Like, give me, is it Isaiah? Is it 1 Corinthians? Just give me Isaiah 40 and 10, man. I can't remember where it's at in Corinthians right now. And then we're going to switch. We're going to switch. Also, the reason why I'm mentioning this here too, on top of what I was talking about teaching, do y'all, anybody remember what it says when it says in the book of Daniel that the beast will have intelligence with the people? Y'all remember that? You remember what intelligence meant? Intelligence meant in Hebrew. The Hebrew word for intelligence. It don't mean intelligence is forth is the definition of intelligence. The Hebrew word that's supposed to be there. Remember what I told you the beast was going to do in the last day. He understand dark sayings, and then from them dark sayings, he going to sit down and teach the people himself. So the reason why I'm mentioning this here is we have to be so aware and vigilant and diligent about teaching our children because the world and our enemies are just as vigilant and diligent on teaching them the opposite. You know what I'm saying? So you have to have that same passion and hunger. Because they're going to try to teach them about the world and their point of view. There's a reason why people walk around and hate themselves the way that they do. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason why that little girl was on Dr. Phil talking about she's not black, she's white. There's a reason for that. Yeah, but you guys, indeed, it's psychological warfare. But then you got to realize something, right? Everybody attacked her. This is a 13-year-old girl. This, shoot, still a little girl. She's still, but guess what though? Look at how our mind frame is. We saw this stupid little girl versus this is a child. Why does she think that way? What has caused her in her mind to hate herself? We don't even think in that aspect. We ready to go down on her versus sitting back looking at why is she thinking like that? You know what I'm saying? What has caused, what type of psychological condition has she caused?
But even I watched a brief bit of it when
I watched a little bit of it.
because I was at the house. But even how she going on a white show like Dr. Phil not even
Equipped.
stirring that pot like that.
No, he ain't.
He ain't even stirring the pot to make America look at it like
This
it's
ain't
our
right.
fault that she like that.
I was going to ask you what was his approach.
That's what I'm saying.
His approach is nothing because he don't care.
He out there clowning, bro.
Yeah, he clowning. He
He
ain't
letting
gonna,
the niggas clown her, bro.
he ain't gonna stand up and say, see white, like that little white lady, the little white scientist lady with the glasses that be going around making white people uncomfortable. See, she would have stood up and said, see, this is white oppression.
Yeah. He wasn't doing that. He wasn't making the people see.
No,
like,
I ain't talking about
it's a
now. Ayana
reason
would have
that
went
she
hard.
like this. What
You
she
know the white
went
lady
through,
I'm
what
talking
she went through in her life. to make
Yeah.
her feel like this.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, see, she would have pointed that out and said, you know what? Don't none of y'all say nothing to this little girl. Because it's our fault, as far as white people, why this little girl feel this way. You know what I'm saying? Because we put up there and told you your lips were ugly. We told you your hair was ugly. We told you your skin was ugly. You know what I'm saying? That's why that Megyn Kelly woman could get on TV and say ain't nothing wrong with you being blackface. That's why she could do that. Because they don't care about your pain.
Even the stuff she was saying, that jump was so scripted. It sounded like
I
something
heard
she heard
her
from some
mama
crackers.
did that just to get.
Hey, you know
Her
that
mama told her that. Put on.
It's like going
It's
to
possible.
the zoo. Once you've been around niggas so long, it's not fun to go anymore. That's what she said, bro. On
that's
TV.
sad. That black people are like going to the zoo, and once you've been
The
around
black
it, it
lady
ain't
was
fun
like,
to be
you
around
should
it.
come to Atlanta, where it's a progressive black society, where the city is mostly black, not just poor black, like black people making money, black people making a difference. You need to be around circles of black people that are more well off than the white people. So that's what she was saying. Like that's how it is in Atlanta, especially a lot of parts of Atlanta. She was like, well, I don't want to be around a bunch of black people. I don't want to be around a bunch of black people. If I want to be around a bunch of black people, I can go to the zoo.
She didn't say that. She said
Niggas, yeah, she was saying niggas. Oh yeah, she was saying niggas the whole time. Yeah, like being around a bunch of
But that's
niggas
sad.
going to the zoo once you've been so many
But
times. You like,
now check it right.
What's new?
And then we'll move
That was
on.
what she kept saying, bro.
Take it right. Now she's the extreme. And more than likely it was choreographed. But guess what though? It's hundreds of thousands of young little black boys and girls that feel exactly how she feel when they look themselves in the mirror. Why you think? Look at this here, right? Niggas big up Kim Kardashian for mutilating her body to look like you. And tell y'all that she's the epitome of beauty. This woman look like she got a saggy diaper. You know what I'm saying? This junk is disgusting. But guess what though? Then you turn around and you got our women who are famous bleaching their skin. So you know if somebody famous bleaching their skin, you know regular people bleaching their skin too. Why? Because they told you this is unattractive.
I got a real cousin like that for real. Like, I
You know
know
what I'm saying?
no person that's in my family that's how she feels. Like she disgusted. She disgusted with anything black.
I feel like that comes from people that be around.
Huh? Oh, athletes. Remember I told you? The one who was bleaching herself. My
That's how that happened.
daughter.
You know what? And guess what? And guess what? And this is how it ends up happening, right? Because you know the joke the niggas used to say back in our day, if you were black, oh, you African booty scratcher, you nappy head nigga, look at your fat nose. But guess what, though? We don't realize that you picking on a nigga's physical attributes, which make you unique from everyone else, and niggas end up hating themselves. Now, I'm not going to say every woman that wore weave did that, but a mass majority of black women wear weave because you've been told your hair's not pretty, and you believed it. Whether it was subliminal or whether it was up front. Now, of course, we know with anything it's not 100% accuracy, but it's in general, that's the reality of it.
It is man what it was. But yeah, you right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just,
That soul ain't straight head.
come on, man. Nigga walk around here blonde. They want your hair blonde. You know what I'm saying? Wearing blue. Come on, man. I remember niggas started wearing blue eye contacts. Seriously, nigga? Seriously?
Oh, that is so lame.
That's gay.
So lame.
But that's self-hate.
It is. It don't look good on black people.
Them girls used to be rocking them hazel eyes, bro. I ain't gonna
Ain't
lie.
gonna say it's
I remember
it's
that.
never
Girls was rocking
100%,
hazel
but for
eyes.
most of them it is.
Yeah, hazel eyes, like them light browns. The hazels, I ain't gonna lie. Girls just rock that hard.
Yeah, if you blue and green, that's lame, but
Them hazels and them light
I ain't talking about nothing other than blue.
Blue, you lame.
I ain't talking about nothing but blue. That's all I'm talking about, blue eyes. Because there ain't too many black folks got blue eyes. You know what I'm saying? You don't see no other race of people where they tell you y'all wearing your hair in your natural state, you can't come to work that way. You know what I'm saying? You don't see that. And then all the other stuff, you know, that's just cultural stuff. Niggas prostituting their daughters to be a whore. The nigga want to put all the clown makeup in your face and dress like a slut. Because some of y'all couldn't have been my children. I know how y'all probably dressed in high school. 'Cause I definitely would have. You go ahead and get daddy some money. What you mean? Because you're coming out here looking like a whore, so clearly you want a prostitute. Go ahead and get some money. Because clearly that's how you want a nigga to talk to you, dressed like that. Because I didn't buy it, so I don't know where you got this whole uniform from. No, I'm talking about the period though, because some of y'all knew y'all used to have the swap out bag when you left the house. Cause I couldn't have been with it. And I felt like that before.
Not for school.
I ain't talking about from school.
Going, you know.
Going somewhere that. Well, see, your parents clearly were progressive and let you just go ahead and do what you do.
I mean, I wouldn't like no hoe.
I felt like any shorts are too far above your kneecap, you look like a hoe. I felt like that before the word. I felt like that before the word. Like if I seen a woman with some little shorts on, I don't want to make you my old lady. Move something skirts on. If your skirt way up here, you look like a slut to me.
You said you had that on some Bermuda.
Lay here, you running right here. If you got some shorts on stopping at your vagina, your booty cheeks hanging out, you's a slut.
This is the thing. I had this girl who used to ride the bus with me, and she couldn't never. She was like, my dad said I can't wear pants. I don't like to wear dresses. Oh, she was like, girl, like the shortest dresses on. So I'm like,
I'm gonna tell y'all this as a man, right? And he meant to, if a nigga see a woman, she got some shorts on, and they coochie cutters and them booty cheeks hanging out, oh, that nigga first thing, oh, she easy to smack. That's a hoe. That's how nigga think. Nigga ain't sitting back looking at, oh, that's an upstanding woman. Shoot, your booty hanging out. You know what I'm talking about? I see cheeks. Now he trying to bust some cheeks. Come on, man. I've been telling you the truth. I've been telling you the truth. Y'all think a man might look at me like, that's a respectable woman. That nigga like, that's a slut. I'm trying to hit. Yeah, like this here. I see all your titties, top of your titties, side of your titties. Nigga like this here. I ain't gonna respect her too tough.
That side boob is treacherous.
What? That side boob definitely treacherous. Cause I've been sitting there to tell you, right? And I told y'all this before. If you dress like a modestly, niggas won't approach you. And if they approach you, they're gonna approach you differently than if you approach with your body out.
That's fact.
And I'm telling y'all that. And see a woman sit back and look like, nah, okay, play with it. As a man, I'm telling you, if a nigga see you half naked, his approach is going to be different than if you are covered up. If he approach at all. Because if he see this woman covered up, the first thought in his head is, she respect herself. And if I'm trying to smash, I ain't even trying to come and have no conversation with her. But if I see you half naked, I see your little stomach out, I see some titties out, I see a lot of thigh, oh, I can hit that, and his approach is not going to be, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. That's not going to be his approach.
Now that's so funny that you say that this girl out there was like her when she wear her underwear versus when she wear weave. She's like, when she wear weave all together with
It's going to be different. It's a different approach. I'm telling you. Y'all got it in y'all mind because y'all see it, I'm cute or I'm this. That's not how a man see it. He see it different. He see, I can hit that hoe. You might not, that don't mean you are one, but that's what he think. No, I'm talking about how she
dressed.
dressed.
That's subliminal too though. Like if a girl don't got her,
if you
like,
got yellow weave
if you got weave in, yeah, that make a nigga feel like your self-esteem low. You
Yeah, I can crash.
Good enough.
Nigga see. I'm just telling y'all how a man see. Y'all looking at it from a woman perspective. Don't look at it from a woman perspective. Look at it from a man perspective.
Me, I ain't gonna lie. Me from a man's perspective, a woman that rocking her natural hair is more confident.
I never liked weave, so I wasn't even finna say nothing to you. If I seen a woman with weave, I was straight. I'm good. I don't want to have no conversation with you.
For me, it depends on what
I don't care what she look like. It's not attractive to me.
what it is.
Too much makeup in your face, I'm good.
Protective style.
I don't care nothing about no protective style, none of that. If you got weave in your head, I'm not even stepping to you. Man, I don't care about none of that. If that jump didn't come out your scalp,
Man, you in and out of the water, it's too wild outside.
I care less.
You ain't finna keep doing your hair like that.
I don't know. I can't say what they were gonna do. I'm just saying I didn't find that attractive. I didn't find that attractive.
I lived in that.
I didn't like it.
That arena.
And I come from a time period before weave got really, really popular. Because there wasn't too many girls wearing weave when I was in
Ain't no girl finna keep getting in the water out here and think her jump finna look nice. That jump take maintenance.
Shoot, better get on out here and maintain then, baby. Come on. Maintain. Maintain, nigga, maintain. 1 Corinthians 13:1.
You said Isaiah 40.
Oh, I did?
You want that?
Yeah, I want that, nigga.
Yeah.
Get that work, nigga. 40 and 9.
Okay.
Okay.
Just making sure you on the
I'm
same
sure,
page.
nigga. Now read. How about that?
O Zion, that bringeth good tidings, get thee up unto the high mountain. O Jerusalem, what bringeth good tidings, lift up thy voice with strength, lift it up, be not afraid. Say unto the cities of Yehuda, behold your Elohim. Behold, Yahuwah Elohim will come with a strong hand, and his arm shall rule for him.
His arm will do what?
Shall rule for him.
Go ahead.
Behold, his reward is with him, and his work before him.
His work right before him.
He shall feed his flock like a shepherd.
Yes, he will.
He shall gather the lambs with his arms and carry them in his bosom. And he shall gently lead them that are with the young.
Go ahead.
That are with young. Who hath measured the waters in the hollow of his hand?
Yep.
Who meted out the heavens with the span? And
When he say beat it out, stretch them out. Measure them. Come on.
with the span and comprehended the dust of the earth
Who comprehended?
in a measure, and weighed the mountains in a scale, and the hills in a balance. Who have directed the Ruach of Yahuwah?
Who had what?
Directed the Ruach of Yahuwah,
Go ahead.
or the being of his counselor hath taught him.
Who taught y'all? That's what he's saying.
Who with whom took he counsel, and who instructed him?
Who instructed?
And who instructed him and taught him in the path of judgment, and taught him knowledge, and showed to him the way of understanding.
Now take it, right? Now like that John 6:44, when he say that it's written in the prophets, they all be taught of Elohim, that's in Isaiah 54. That's where he getting that from. You know what I'm saying? So when you see that Yah is the one who comes with justice and judgment and understanding and all those things, that's how he going to cause you the highest thoughts, or his teaching or his word is going to cause you to be in his son. That's why he say, unless my Abba draw you. See, and that goes back to what we were talking about last night, right? Remember this here, right, when we was talking about being oppressed and the thorns in your side? See, I forgot to read y'all Luke 6:23. Y'all know what Luke 6:23 says? Well, it says this. Blessed are ye when you be persecuted, and men separate themselves from your company and speak evil of you for my name's sake. He say, rejoice, for your name is written in heaven. So if your name is written in heaven when you're persecuted, that's going back to how he set the world in your heart when we were looking about your labor, and then you have your occupation, task, and job, and you're exercised in it to get to the point of where we concluded at in verse 18, that he could test you and prove you and show you that you were but a man and that you needed his salvation. You know what I'm saying? When you notice that, it leads us to 1 Corinthians 13:1. And let's take ourselves there. And this will bring to light what we were talking about at the beginning of last night's session. But before you read 1 Corinthians 13:1, give me Songs of Solomon 8:6 real quick. Do that for me. Songs of Solomon 8:6. Songs of Solomon.
It says, set me as a seal upon thy heart, as a seal upon thine arm. For love is strong as death.
Love is what?
Strong as death.
It's strong as what?
Death. Jealousy is cruel as the grave.
As the grave. You know, when he say cruel, you know what that word cruel means in Hebrew? It actually means a word that means obstinate or stubborn. So it said jealousy is what?
It's cruel as the grave. The coals thereof are coals of fire, which have most vehement flame. Many waters cannot quench love.
Many waters can't quench it.
Neither can floods drown it.
Floods can't drown it.
If a man shall give all the substance of his house for love,
It'll be what?
it would be utterly contempted.
Contempt.
Contempt.
Now I'm going to ask y'all a question, right? When you look at many waters cannot quench love, y'all should know what character in the alphabet is there for waters. Which one would that be, Shayla? So that's it is. So when we look at many, say much chaos would not be able to quench love. So when we look at the chaos, what chaos was it that we saw? Let's take a look at Matthew chapter 26 and verse 49. Come here, Tabby.
It says, and forthwith he came to Yahushua and said, Hail, Master, and kissed him. And Yahushua said unto him, Friend, wherefore art thou come? Then came they and laid hands on Yahushua and took him.
Go ahead.
And behold, one of them which were with Yahushua stretched out his hand and drew sword and struck a servant of the high priest and smote off his ear.
What do y'all say? This a little bit of chaos. These people coming to get him. Got a little trouble going on. Hey, go ahead.
It said, Then said Yahushua unto him, Put up again thy sword unto this place. For they all take the sword shall perish with the sword. Thinkest thou that I cannot pray to my Father, and he shall presently give me more than 12 legions of Malachim? But how then shall Scripture be fulfilled? That thus it must be. In the same hour said Yahushua to the multitudes, are you come out as against the thief with swords and staves for to take me? I said daily was you teaching in the temple and laid no hold, and
No
you
hold?
laid no hold on me. But all this was done that the scriptures of
So
the
y'all think there's a little bit of
prophets
chaos they coming to kill him? Did it quench his love? Did it stop him? So the reason why I'm mentioning that, and we're going to get to that, there should be no manner of chaos or suffering or anything that should go on. If you really love somebody, nothing should quench that. Nothing should be able to separate you from that. Period. Nothing. Not no life event. Know what I'm saying? Not no nothing. Not no issue, not no nothing. No chaos should quench love. Listen to the next thing he state though. Why he said many waters can't quench it, neither can the floods drown it. When we look at drown, and this is y'all time to participate. The word is shatta. It means to wash, rinse, or sweep away, or to engulf or overflow. You have a shan tet and a pay. You have a few moments to come up with a sentence for yourself. By all means, do so. Drown. Yes, ma'am. Shan tet and pay. Abigail, what are you doing? You got you some 13s on? You not even 13. Hey, King. What's up? You all right? You chilling? Well, that nigga just like you. God! They just cloned you and gave you man parts. What you got for me, Will?
I don't know. Hold on, let me see what they pay.
Yeah, you can come up with your own sentence for it. You got Sean, so yeah, you got devour, consume, or repair. You tell what you got: surround, basket, snake. And then for pay, what you got? Word, command. Sean, tet, and pay. So no floods could drown this love. Nothing coming through should be able to drown it. That's why I asked y'all what I asked y'all beforehand. Like, y'all wasn't here for that. And y'all wasn't here for that either. But one of the questions is, how do you define love? Which I don't have time for y'all to answer it right now. Most High willing, we'll do it when we're done. And the second question was, would you know if somebody loved you before they told you, without them telling you? Did you know he loved you before he told you? Lee, you knew Mike loved you before he told you? Did you know that Mike loved you before he verbally said, Lee, I love you? Mike, did you know Lee loved you before she told you?
She did.
Oh my. What about you, little muffin? Did you know your husband loved you before he told you? The reason I mention that because if you didn't know, you either didn't know what love was, or they weren't showing you that and you didn't realize it and you felt they loved you based off of a euphoria of emotion once they said that to you because somebody told you they love you. Especially, most dudes feel like if you tell a woman you love her, she'll do anything for you. Don't tell me why niggas think that way, but that's how niggas feel. Especially if they feel like you got daddy issues or low self-esteem, a nigga throw it at you like some candy. Dead serious though.
Boy, I ain't gonna lie. I'm interested in him too.
I hadn't came up with nothing. I'll let y'all do it. But I can tell you, I can sit back and tell you that, shoot.
It's gonna be paired, it ain't gonna be consumed.
Oh, without question it's going to be paired. And I can tell you that the word pairs you to protection when you look at that text.
Yeah. But I'm looking at, exactly. So, what you doing with the entrance and I don't get it. I can't perceive.
I just said the word.
What?
The word pairs you to his
But
protection.
where you getting the word?
Because pay means you can use that for word.
Oh, you to speak, mouth. That ain't.
Which is going to be, and his
You
debar,
gonna ride with that?
and word. But you know how many times we done went pay and I done use word? I did that several times. Because at the end of the day, what the mouth
I didn't think that was the one that you was using for word.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that the word will prepare you to his protection. That's why he say that love will not allow the floods to drown it. So give me Acts chapter 2, verse 22. Acts 2 and 22. Oh yeah, I thought you knew that, sir. My bad.
Maybe I ain't really go.
I think mine say word on it though.
Not this. But one do say word. That's what I'm trying to find. Which one is that?
Okay. Boom. See what happens, Tabby? See what happens. Come on, look at it. Pull it up.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, definitely. That's what I was saying. I knew I was.
Oh yeah, because it also got what, converge the soul with that word.
Yeah, I thought you were using that. I ain't gonna lie.
No, so a lot of times for pay, I didn't put a word in there because of the mouth, the interest in the speaking, because of the word debar, and that's his spoken word.
What you?
No, he just asked me.
No, he was saying that he was gonna use pay, the word for pay, and I was like, but it's a literal word that already got the word. So I'm looking at, I'm leaning towards that versus what you using for it.
Looking at the word though, what's him talking about?
Yeah. But he being creative.
Right.
Not being creative.
No, only reason I was saying that if you expecting us to create the sentence off of this, and you use that, if nobody's looking at it that way, I feel like we all need to be on the same page. But
I thought y'all knew
what you're saying not wrong. I agree.
I thought y'all knew I was using word for pay many times.
But when we making the sentence though, we looking to make the sentence from the words that are listed with the character. And that the word is listed as a character. So when you saying you using the word for that, we looking like where you get Ayin from.
Go sit down.
Or where you get this from. But I definitely respect it.
Hey, Acts 2 and 22. Renee, go sit down. Abigail, follow your sister.
Ye men of Yahshua, hear these words. Yahushua of Nazareth, the man approved of Elohim among you by miracles and wonders and signs which Elohim did by him in the midst of you, as ye yourself also know.
You also know this.
Him being delivered by the determinate counsel
Little chaos.
and for knowledge of Elohim ye have taken, and by wicked hands have crucified and slain.
They slayed him.
Whom Elohim raised up, having loosed the pains of death.
It wasn't possible.
Because it was not possible that he should be holding of it.
Go ahead.
For David himself
What did David say?
speaketh concerning him.
What did he say?
I foresaw that Yahuwah is always before my face.
Yes, sir.
For he is on my right hand, that I should not be moved.
Go ahead.
Therefore did my heart rejoice and my tongue was glad. Moreover, also my flesh shall rest in hope.
Mm-hmm.
Because thou
Has not.
wilt not leave my soul in Sheol, neither wilt thou suffer that for thou.
That's what you said back when you look at it, say the floods couldn't drown it because that word that he promised him, it protected him. He was paired to that, and it protected him. That's the same thing that's going to protect us, and that's the profit from our labor. Because remember what we read last night in Revelation 12? That it said that they overcame him by what? By the blood of the Lamb and the word of the testimony, and they did not love their own lives, even unto the death. So when you see that many waters cannot quench love, neither can the flood drown it. Because if you love this man, nothing should be able to remove you from it. Give me Romans 8 and 34 since I'm King. You got it. Yeah, the greatest thing is to love this man with all your heart and soul, and that should not separate you. And the point that we're making is when Peter pulled that sword off and cut Buddy's ear, they could have went to war. He said, "No, Scripture got to be fulfilled. Ain't nothing gonna drown this love." That's one of the reasons why this man tell you husbands love your wives. This is another reason why this man tell you he hate divorce. Because if you said you want to marry somebody, then you should actually love them in this capacity. If you say you in the Word. Like that, there should be absolutely nothing that would, because we're going to read it in a minute. But y'all know what the book say, one thing with love, what it don't do, right? It don't fail. So if it failed, guess what that means? It wasn't love.
Hold that, Isaiah. What is that?
Oh, you don't follow what you said? I ain't mad at you, shoot. You know I wasn't going to say nothing.
No, I ain't say
Shit, I will pay the bill.
So do. So do. You got to think about that. Because I would have said, because guess what? Did y'all love fail? No. So if you say you got the love of y'all in you towards somebody else, then it should never fail. It should never fail.
What is that?
What's that?
Was that Isaiah 40 with that?
With what?
Drowning?
No, Songs of Solomon chapter 8.
That's what it was. My bad. Dang, wow.
Now let's look at the next thing. He said, if a man would give all his substance, the word substance is home.
You asked for Romans, by the way.
Huh?
You asked for Romans, by the way.
Yeah, Romans 8:34. I just want to throw that out there so they can think about it. Home, and it means wealth, riches, or substance. And you got hey, ooh, and noon. So you can come up with your sentence for substance right now. Hey, ooh, and noon. While he reads you Romans chapter 8, verse 34. I'm just trying to have your mind think on. He finna hey, ooh, and noon. Romans 8:34. Get it to him real quick.
Who is he that condemneth?
Who is he that was?
Who is he that condemneth?
Go ahead.
It is the Mashiach who have died.
Is he who died?
Rather, it is that is risen again.
He rose again.
Who is even at the right hand of Elohim.
Sure lives.
Who also maketh intercession for us.
He make that intercession.
Who shall separate us from the love of the Mashiach?
Who will separate us from the love of Elohim? What does it say?
Shall tribulation
Shall tribulation,
or distress
what little distress,
or persecution
huh?
or famine
Huh?
or nakedness
Uh-huh.
or peril
Uh-huh.
or the sword?
Okay.
As it is written, for thy sake
We
we
are.
are killed all the day long,
And we are what?
accounted as sheep
For the what?
for the slaughter.
Go ahead.
Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors.
More than
through him
conquerors.
that love us.
So you can overcome that. Let me tell y'all something, right? And you know, I was taught that as a child, but then also dealing with it for the word, with the word's sake, you see the same thing. We have to move from making excuses on why we can't do this and do that, and sit back and look at that you are more than a conqueror through the individual who died and rose from the dead for you. You know what I'm saying? And also when we say what we can and can't do, we put limitations on our own self. It's a little quote from Henry Ford. He said, whether you can or you can't, you're absolutely right. Because if you say you can't do something, then you can't. And if you say you can do something, you can. Because you're the one telling yourself that you can't. Now, it's one thing if something is outside the realm of your expertise. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of the things that we say we can't do may not necessarily be outside the realm of our expertise. It could just come down to simple commitment and drive and desire and discipline to accomplish it. You know, and the reason why I'm saying this is because that's what I was telling y'all about last week when they always say, oh, they too young. We've allowed people from the time we were a child to put limitations on our ability and our intellect. And then we unknowingly do it to generations that come after us. Because people are always telling us what you can't do. What you can't do. You can do whatever you want to do. If you put your mind to doing it. Now, if you don't put your mind to do it, then no, you're not going to do it. And if you know that this man already put his mind to overcoming death on your behalf, then you have to know that you can overcome it with him. You have to know that. Then you would know that whatever you face is nothing for you to conquer, because this man already conquered death, which is the greatest enemy, adversary, and obstacle of them all. Come on, man. Oh, that's right, the sentence. Hey, ooh, and noon. For substance. Hone is the word. Hone is the word.
You said who?
Home, H-O-W-N, home. W-N, but it's the hey, ooh, and noon that you have for substance. His wealth, his riches, and we talked a little bit about his gift last night, didn't we? A little wisdom, a little faith, right? A little discernment of spirits. Everybody like gifts, don't they? How many of y'all like gifts? I bet you do, King. You got to be careful about liking gifts, because the book tell you to be careful about that, don't it? Book tell you be careful. No, the book tell you about being careful about receiving gifts, because gifts blind the eyes of the wise and pervert the words of the righteous. Sometimes it ain't good to take a gift from certain individuals.
He looking for the sentence.
Oh, no, come up with your sentence for it. Hey, ooh, and noon. Who would like to go ahead and offer that?
What that was for?
Substance.
Song of Solomon or Ecclesiastes?
Songs of Solomon. We ain't in Ecclesiastes.
Oh, wait a second. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, we got one more word. And then we got to roll, tide, roll. Because it's almost 5 o'clock and I ain't even got to what we here for. Matter of fact, while y'all doing that there, I'm gonna grab what we here for. I'm gonna read y'all 1 Corinthians 13. I want y'all to ponder upon that while you write your sentence. 1 Corinthians 13:1 says this: though I speak with the tongues of men and of Malachim and have not love, I have become as a sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains and have not love, I am nothing. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned and have not love, it profit me nothing. Love suffer long and is kind. Love envy not. Love vaunt not itself. It is not puffed up. Doth not behave itself unseemly. Seek not her own. Is not easily provoked. And think no evil. Rejoice not in iniquity, but rejoice in the truth. Bear all things. Believe all things. Endure, hope all things. Endure all things. Love never fails. But whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. And whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. Now what y'all got for that stuff? Behold what?
Behold the joining to life.
Behold the joining to life. And anybody else like to say? And that works well for me. Anybody else? Behold the sacrifice of life. Anybody else? 1998. 1998 over there. 1998. But your t-shirt say 1998. What you got on? Bonjour? You French? Anybody else want to try something before we got to roll? Because it's 20 minutes to 5. We'll go ahead with that, right? Behold the pairing or joining together to life. That's his substance. What part of his substance did he utterly give up? Because when you look at contempt, and that word contempt means to despise or hold as insignificant. And the word is booze. So who looked at something that was their substance and they despised it and held it to be insignificant? Esau did. And what was that he despised? And what would be that birthright? But life, right? So what is it that Yahushua, that he held insignificant, that he was willing to give up? His life or his blood. You know what I'm saying? So when you see that there, because he shed his blood, remember what he read in 1 John chapter 1 about his blood cleanse us from all sin. Now you can be joined to Elohim because of this. Because of love, he was willing to give up his substance. And on top of that, sacrificing what? His place in heaven, his name, his title, his authority, his power, and everything that he possessed. That's how much he loved you. And we say you, we talking about Yasharal as a whole. That's how much he loved you. So when you see utterly contempt, you got Ba'u and Zayin, and y'all can roll the dice on that. Ba'u and Zayin. I will forget.
I don't know. I don't feel like that one's gonna be doing for that one.
Well, for Zayin, what you got besides fruitful and harvest? What else would you have? What you have cut off, right?
Mm-hmm.
You cut it on off?
Yeah, I'm thinking cut off because it's saying utterly contempt.
Utterly contempt.
But that's definitely cut off.
They're definitely gonna cut it off. What else you gonna? What else you got there? You got that got a little. Go ahead and cut off that security to the house. That's what it was. He cut himself off from his God. That man was willing to be cut off from Yah for your sake. So that means, remember, because his substance is what, right? What she said, right? Behold, it's the joining together to eternal life. Well, he utterly contemned being joined together to his Abba and cut himself off from that. Now, ain't that some love for you right there? That's some love for you right there, ain't it? Now, let's look at what we got in 1 Corinthians 13 as I mentioned. One of the first things it mentioned that love suffers long. Does anybody know by definition what long suffering means? To be patient. And also to be what? Slow to anger. So if you have love for somebody, you'll be slow to get angry with them. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at Yah, was not Yah slow to wrath in the wilderness when dealing with Yashar? Was not Yahushua himself slow in getting angry with us when he was dealing with us himself? Now in Exodus 34:6, but you can get me Jonah 4:1 real quick. It makes reference how that one of Yah's attributes is that he is long-suffering. So the long-suffering is not just patience, because patience is a fruit of the rock too, ain't it? But so it's long-suffering. So we see those are two different things. You know, the book tells you to be slow to anger because the wrath of man work not the righteousness of Elohim. So if you say you love someone, then you should be slow to anger with them. If you are easily angered, it's quite possible you don't love them. It's quite possible you don't love them. Because somebody you love, you're not going to get angry with very quickly. That means you can take their injury. Doesn't mean you approve of it. Doesn't mean you like it. But you're not quick to anger. Because there's a lot of stuff we did to Yah, and he did not get quick to anger. And that's one of his attributes. So if the love, we're talking about the love of Elohim, not what we say love is, not what we think it is, what he says it is. And that, and long suffering is one of his attributes. Now, the only place that we can pull that word up, the word is arak. Of course, you're not going to find that in Corinthians because it's in Greek. But Jonah 4:1, and then Joel 2:11.
I don't have anything for you tonight.
Jonah 4:1.
Mark.
Think about that, Rod. Long suffering. Say love is slow to anger. Somebody you love, you don't get angry with very quickly. It took a lot for Yahushua to get angry, boy. And he had every right to go off. And we know Yahuwah had every right to go off dealing with them niggas in the wilderness. Say what? Because them niggas were tripping. Them niggas were tripping. You know what I'm saying? Jonah 4:1.
But it displeased Jonah exceedingly, for he was very angry. And he prayed unto Yahuwah and said, I pray thee, O Yahuwah, was not this my saying when I was yet in my country? Mm-hmm. Therefore I fled before thee unto Tarshish, for I knew that thou art a gracious Elohim.
He knew what?
Gracious.
And what else?
Merciful.
Merciful.
Slow to anger.
Slow to what?
Anger.
That word arek is that's what it's there for, slow to anger. That same word for long suffering. He said, I know you slow to anger. It's the same thing that would be in Joel 2:13. And Exodus 34:6, that's the word for long suffering. So I'm using that the examples to show you that long suffering is being slow to anger. That's why he say those that are slow to anger, those that are quick to anger, do not work the righteousness of Elohim, because that's not right in his eyesight. He say be slow to wrath. So love, according to the word, is being slow to anger. You're not easily angered. The next thing we'll look at with love is, you see that it said it is kind. I want you to go to 2 Chronicles 10. Probably about verse 5. Now, of course, the word for kind here is a word that most of y'all in here know. You know what the word for kind would be? What's the word for good, Stanley? That's the word for kind. That's the word for kind. That word don't appear in Hebrew. It's forth as kind, it's forth as the being kind to someone. When they say kind, it's referring to something that's similar.
I have another one. I seen told, but I ain't using it.
What you got?
Cassette.
Oh yeah, the word for
over
mercy.
that.
Yeah, the word for mercy. It also
Which is kindness. Mm-hmm. That's what I thought you were going to use for Job. And that's what he said too. He used cassette.
2 Chronicles 10:5. I just like the verse that's in 10:5. That's all.
I ain't mean disrespect that.
No, I just like the verse. That's all.
First?
2 Chronicles 10:5.
It says, and he said unto them, come again unto me after 3 days, and the people departed. And King Rehoboam took counsel with the old men that had stood before Solomon his father while he had yet lived, saying, what counsel gave ye to me? Return answer to this people. Return to answer this people.
What did he say?
And they spake unto him, saying, if thou be kind to this people,
If you be what?
kind to this people,
What will they do?
and please them,
And please them
and speak good words to
and
them,
speak good words to them. What'll happen?
they will be thy servants.
They'll be your what?
thy servants fellow.
They'll be your what?
Servants
Now,
fellow.
let me tell you something, right? And now this is for a man, right? If you find yourself you married, right? If you show that loving kindness to your wife, don't you think she'll serve you forever?
Servants fellow.
You ain't got to sit back and be like, woman do this and woman do that. If you sit back and you slow the anger with her. Remember, this is also tying into what? Husbands, dwell with your wives according to what? Knowledge. She'll serve you. He said not only be kind to her, but do what else? Speak good words. Now, Jeremiah 31:3, it tell you that Yah said, has appeared to me of old and said that I will draw you to me with love and kindness. So when we look at Yahushua, what did he do? Did he not draw the people to him with pleasant words and kindness? Well, at least the ones who believed anyway. Because we know everybody didn't believe. That's the reason why I said I told that.
I don't know.
What
We done went over
that was
before.
some Chronicles.
2 Chronicles 10:7 is the verse where it's mentioned. Now the next thing it said, it spoke about love. It says that love doesn't envy. Now, of course, I know y'all know what envy is, right? The word for envy, we got two different words for envy. You got kinna, and then you got kana. And kana is just a shortened version of it. I want you to go to Proverbs 14:30.
Mar, go sit down.
Proverbs 14:30. Fix your face. Fix your face. Go to your room.
Nigga gonna come to get a hug. Go sit down.
Oh, no, you just smile. You faking. Go to your
I
room.
already told you that was gonna come do.
Go to your room.
Come
You get no sympathy from me.
14 and 30. A sound heart is the life of the flesh, but envy and rottenness, the rottenness of the bones.
Envy is rottenness to the bone. Why did Pilate say the scribes delivered Yahushua to him? Because of envy. So love don't, you know that's the craziest thing in the world? That you got niggas who envy their spouse? Happens all the time, more often than you think. Way more. How? So nigga can envy their spouse because they feel like their spouse got more friends than them. Nigga can envy their spouse because they feel like they got more compliments than them. The number one reason is niggas envy their spouse because their spouse might be more successful than them.
Yeah, money is success.
But I mean, and it just ain't money. You got to understand something. There's people out here who got massive insecurities and inadequacies that they haven't dealt with and went and got married. You know what I'm saying?
Especially these many spouses, nigga, they be knocking each other off.
What?
I think that be about.
Nigga killing their spouses, cheating on them, and all this type of stuff. But it's people out here who envy their children.
Yeah.
You know how sad of an adult you got to be to envy a child? Now, when you look at love, love don't envy. Now, the next thing we got behind that is what? Love doesn't lift itself up. So if it don't lift itself up, what does that mean? Ain't no pride. So, you know the biggest mistake that most brews make who in this word? What's going on, brother? I miss all these good old comments. What's going on, brother? Brother over there in Brazil? Well, hold it down, baby. Hold it down. Hold it down. But check it though, right? When you look at pride, you know the biggest mistake that niggas got when they get married? That they feel like because they the head of that woman, that they over her and they can rule her with an iron fist. Look at Yahushua. Did he lift himself up in pride? What did he say? Why you call me good? Say there's none good but Elohim. What's another thing where Yahushua, so what did Yahushua tell you? He that exalts himself is going to be what? He that humbleth himself shall be what? You're going to be lifted up. So again, when they turn around what we mentioned last night in Ephesians 5, when they say husbands love your wives as a Mashiach loved his and gave himself for it, you can't have no pride and say you love your wife. That can't work. Who can think of in the law? And when I say in the law, I'm talking about speaking Genesis specifically. Who didn't lift himself up over his wife that he listened to his wife counsel, even with something that he didn't want to do?
I mean, Abraham.
You know how many niggas in these days and time would have told her, woman, I ain't putting my son out. Would have slept, he'd have stayed right there.
I said get that heifer from around here. That's what I said.
And notice it's going to continue in the next week.
And tell her to take her son with her.
Now it also says that love doesn't behave itself unseemly. Who knows what unseemly means?
Yes, sir.
With the glasses on.
Who knows what unseemly means?
One time.
Unseemly. Y'all ain't never heard that term before? Huh? No. We say don't behave itself unseemly.
No, out of like randomly, out of order.
Not out of order to a certain extent. Unseemly means somebody who has uncouth behavior. Little nasty, little backdoor behavior. Old people say seemly. That's what they're unseemly. No, unseemly is like a nigga who like to be in the club and grab women's butt and run. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, but that's unseemly behavior. Niggas who when y'all was little, y'all in high school, you trying to peek in the girls' locker room. That's unseemly behavior.
I was thinking about a relationship.
What did it be?
Unseemly with eating cake.
Yeah, unseemly is eat that cake anime. Yeah, that's
we talking about we not.
But I'm talking about this. But I'm just using examples of behavior that's not right.
Yeah. But in a relationship, somebody saying they love you,
behaving unseemly don't work.
That's what that is.
Then it also says that love is not easily provoked. See, we run a short on time because we got hit with because we got words for this. And Most High willing, we'll start next week. Y'all can try to find the equivalent. Y'all can try to find the equivalent words.
So you found them all.
Oh yeah.
I got mine right here. I put it on the phone.
But listen, right? What do you think he mean when he say love not easily provoked? But we're gonna deal with provoke. I'm gonna get you provoke. Provoke is the word na'ats. It means to spurn or contemn, or to abhor or to despise. You see, it means the same thing as what we read in Song of Solomon, right? Just a different word. And let's take ourselves to Numbers 14 and 11 so you can see what it means to provoke. Because if you sit back and you say you love your wife, then you shouldn't despise your wife. Or if you say you love your husband, you shouldn't despise your husband by provoking them. And in a literal layman sense is, why would you do something that you know would anger this person? Like, why would you intentionally do that? Because a lot of people do that. Y'all know what it is to provoke somebody. We just talked about it the other day. What they claim Rondo did is provoking somebody. You provoking a fight. No, he talking about by spitting on him. He said he didn't spit on him. And I have to agree with his assessment on one thing. As a man, if you spit in a man's face, you is not finna be standing off to the side with your hand on your hips. No, you're not finna do that. If I spit in your face, I'm already ready. I know this finna be a fight. I mean, even without the video, just his explanation, like, I'm a man, I know that. Boy, I spit in a nigga face, I know, boy, it's bumping time. That's no different from calling a nigga coochie nigga. You know, you call a nigga that in these streets, them fighting words. You already ready to fight. You already know that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You knew as soon as the word left your mouth, you already squared up and ready. You already got, you ready. You know that.
I was thinking about that too, like, if it's your friend. Like we were talking about how like friends don't play like that.
No.
You ain't never gonna call you. If somebody really your friend, you ain't never gonna call them that.
Yeah, but when I used to go on the road, the niggas play you, call the niggas female dogs and hold this, hold that. I used to tell the nigga, hold up, boy. I said, well, I don't play like that.
Yeah.
I said, but we don't come from nowhere. I don't come from that. We mean honor and respect. We don't play like that.
Yeah, we ain't never. Yeah.
Nigga ain't finna be called.
You really don't respect a nigga if you call a nigga that.
Not at all. You can't. I'm a man of honor and respect. Call me no female dog. Niggas, you crazy? But I knew they were young, they ain't know no better. They like, man, what the big deal? I said, well, y'all gonna say that to the wrong nigga, boy. Nigga gonna crack your dome. And guess what happened to him? Nigga cracked the dome on that yard. Thought that dude was somebody to play with. Can't play with that. But that's different now. See, y'all look at, see, y'all younger, so the code for a lot of people y'all age different than ours. It's a lot of stuff niggas did not float nor fly with. that niggas do now, and it's acceptable. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know, you probably would have got beat up back in the day for putting on a wig, talking about you being funny, dressing up like a woman. Nigga might have swung on you, period. Just for doing it. Now niggas turn their head. I don't care how much times change, boy, you got to have a code. You got to have a code. You got to have a code. Got to. Come on, man.
Numbers 14
and 11.
Yes, sir. And Yahuwah said unto Moses, how
Hold up. Put that chair back and sit in it. Fix your face. Put the chair back. Abigail, go sit down. Eugene, go over there. Simon, go sit down. Eugene, go to your mother. Mom. Yes, go to her. Mom. Find her. Mom. Don't worry about that. Mark, you better put that chair back. Mark, get in that chair and sit down. Get in. Come here. Because you think somebody to be played with. Come on. Put some hop in your step. Oh, I'm not playing with you. Sit down. Sit down. Silence. Well, go to your room then. Go to your room then. Yes, go find your mother. Yo, your mother's over there. She's over there. 14 and 11. Come on, man.
It said, Yahuwah said unto Moses, how long will this people provoke me?
How long will they what?
Provoke me.
Mm-hmm.
And how long would it be ere they believe me?
Let me ask y'all a question. How did they provoke it?
By being ungrateful.
Not believe, but also bucking. Not doing what they were instructed to do. Love don't. So that's an example how they didn't love y'all because they provoked them in the wilderness repeatedly. Now, of course, all these examples, next week we're going to dive into them very, very in-depthly with the words to match. Now, the next thing he said back and he told you that love don't think no evil. Hold on, he said that also says that love does not seek her own. So what does that mean?
It's not selfish.
Love ain't selfish. So if you selfish, guess what that means? You don't love your wife. You don't love your husband. And I don't care what you say out your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm talking about what y'all say. See, it don't matter what you feel or what you think. It's what he say. He say that's what love don't do. So if we do that, guess what that means? You don't love us. So instead of getting, see, you know what most people do? They get offended. Instead of saying, you know what? Let me correct it. And that show you, that's what he said. I got to test you and prove you to make it manifest that you a beast. Because those who going to come out bright and come out on the other side going to say, you know what? Let me correct it. Those who are other adversaries going to say, I know I love my wife. But if your wife can look you in the face and tell you selfish, then according to the word, you don't love her. And vice versa. Now the next thing it say, right, is it does not, it don't think no evil. That's self-explanatory. You know why that's self-explanatory? Because Psalms 97 and 10 tell you, ye that love Yah, hate evil, and do what? No, love good. You think about Psalm 34. You think about Psalm 34. He also tells you that in the book of Amos. Those that love Yah, hate evil, and love good.
You get it from 1 Corinthians 13.
All that's in 1 Corinthians 13. And then the last thing is bear all things, believe all things, hope all things, endure all things. We'll deal with that in a minute. But then it says love never fails or it never stops. Never stops. Now, when you look at Deuteronomy 7, verse 6, get it for me.
7 and 6. It says, for thou art a Kadash people unto Yahuwah thy Elohim, and Yahuwah your Elohim hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all the people that are upon the face of the earth. And Yahuwah did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you were more in number than any people. For ye were the fewest of all people. But because Yahuwah loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, have Yahuwah brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondage, from the hand of.
That's good, right? He
Yeah,
said because he
well,
loved you, right? Now that's just dealing with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? And then to us, their children after. But we read something in John last night. Let's read it right now. John 17 and 25. Because the reason why we're looking at love never fails is it ties into all this labor, right? That we've been looking at and all this stuff in Ecclesiastes 3 from 9 on down. Because his love never stopped. Yasharal sinned, he put him out of the land, yet his love never stopped. Because Daniel 9 said that the Mashiach is going to the Messiah, the anointed one, will be cut off, but what? Not for himself. To make an end of what? Of sin, and make reconciliation for the people. To make end of transgression and to seal up the vision and to anoint the most Kadash. So that means if he did that, his love never failed. His love could have failed. He could have cast you away and got another people. He didn't do it. That's why he said he hates divorce, and that was never his intent from the jump street. Because if you love someone, that love should never fail, and that love should be rooted in these concepts of what we see right here, along with godliness, righteousness, and things of that nature, and then you bring into the natural things that you may desire in someone. Because if somebody going to provoke you, and they're going to provoke you on purpose, then how is it possible this person loves you? This person is selfish. How is it possible that they love you? How is that possible? If this person loves you, then how is it possible that they always get angry with you over the slightest thing they angry? Because what's the thing that people always say in this generation? Oh, I'll cut a nigga off quick. I'll cut a nigga off quick. But clearly you somebody slow to wrath who doesn't have the ability to communicate and network through situations. You're sitting there holding stuff in and you resenting the nigga instead of having a conversation on something that probably could have been ironed out. I mean, you couldn't have loved them too tough. Couldn't have loved them too tough. Because the reason why I mention that, because what if y'all did that? I'm cutting that off. Before he cut Saul off, he was slow to his wrath now, didn't he? He could have cut Saul off on the first go-round. He definitely was slow to anger with it. But see, that's one of the fruits of the Ruach. And people don't even pay attention when they see that. Like, boy, that nigga ain't even get angry. Boy, I would have snapped. Then you sit back and look at, boy, that mean the word in him. I mean the word in him. Because that didn't make them angry, even if they was angry. There's been plenty of times where Yah was angry and then he repented himself for what he was going to do then. Then let that wrath go. Niggas be quick to go to wrath. Because we ain't never been told what love really is. And then as forth as it says in the word, and then we don't want to emulate it. Because our version of love is really selfish because it's really emotion-based. Because love is definitely not a feeling. Any feeling you get is, like I told y'all before most of y'all came in here, it's a chemical reaction in your brain. You get the same reaction from sex. You get the same reaction from the use of narcotics. Just a little dopamine. Some people get that same endorphin release from playing video games. It's whatever you take pleasure in. Well, guess what? After that dopamine is released in your brain, it passes away and that feeling subsides. And then reality comes back. So you end up chasing that feeling again. And again and again. Love is a committed decision. You decide to love someone. And you just read that. Yah decided to love Yasharal. Yahusha decided to die because he loved you. He made that decision. He made that decision. I'm going to set my love on this individual. Go ahead, Mike.
John?
Yes, sir. What you got? You got to tell them?
17
And 25.
It says, O righteous Abba, the world hath not known thee, but I have known thee. And these have known that thou hast sent me. And I have declared unto them thy name, and will declare it. And the love wherewith thou hast loved me may be in them, and I in them.
That's real, though. Yeah. Yeah. You heard what he said? The love that you had me from what? Foundation of the world, right? He loved Yahusha from the jump street. So get a Proverbs 8:17. And yes, selfishness is definitely the root of sin because selfishness is rooted in pride. That's why you hear most men say that one of the most disgusting things in a woman is for her to be selfish. Most men don't like no selfish woman. It's utterly disgusting. Like that woman can have a lot going on for her. If that nigga peeps she's selfish, he'll be like, no, I'm good.
We were just talking about that yesterday.
That's real. Who you understand? That's real. That's disgusting. That's vile. That's very unattractive. She could be the most beautiful woman in the world, intelligent. You know what I'm saying? She could be kind and generous, but if she's selfish, that nigga will dip. Don't no man want that. Behind a lazy, ungrateful woman, Shoot. That's the top 3 thing make a nigga slide.
That's close second, boy.
What, lazy?
Lazy, ungrateful.
Oh yeah, shoot. Selfish number 1.
That's number 1. So.
Shoot. And lazy and ungrateful running neck and neck. Ain't nothing worse than a lazy woman. You don't want to do nothing. But you got some women feel like all they got to do is toot their booty now. They ain't got to do nothing else. You remember what T.I. said. I know D know. The rest of y'all might not know. You know, I know you know. So lame niggas say flip the cushions, do something, help out with the cable, do something.
Yeah. That's my kids.
You gotta do something.
Complaining probably third.
Oh, cause complaining behind a nigga can deal with the complaining more than he can deal with an ungrateful, lazy
Nah,
woman.
that's why I said that's probably third.
Shoot, that falls behind them too. You got them 4 things going on, you complaining, you're lazy, you're ungrateful, and you're selfish, you're gonna be an old, lonely heifer. You're gonna be that old lady living in the shoe. With 32 and a half cats.
Yes.
Yeah, that junk ain't cool. I mean, and a man being selfish is horrible too. Most women deal with it though, for some reason. I don't know why, but they do though. For some reason, a selfish man is not, for some reason, a selfish man, at least in my experience, y'all can give y'all take if you wish, it's not as unattractive to a woman as it is a man towards a woman. Because the reason why I say it, because I done seen too many women deal with selfish niggas. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, boy. A lot of dudes, boy, if they peep that woman selfish, boy, them niggas get gone. Them niggas wouldn't care how good the sex would or nothing. Them niggas out of there. Because niggas will deal with a complaining woman. But they ain't going to deal with no lazy and ungrateful and selfish woman too long. They going to hit it. We know it's a lot of women deal with lazy men. Look at all these women taking care of grown men. You know what I'm saying?
That lazy love.
That lazy love. Nigga say, how you lazy with lazy penis? And you just said she just with it too. Just keep this nigga, what you got him for? You might well go cancel that nigga and get you a new one. It's sad though. But we know the most part, most women do that because they just want a man and want to be by themselves. A nigga don't care. I seen a woman over talking to my son, she was talking about y'all men better know that y'all can only have sex if we let you. But that nigga said at the same token, y'all can only get married if a nigga choose you. Because there's a lot of women want to get married, don't nobody want them.
So you're right. That's tough. You can get his rocks off.
Yeah, because the woman was correct. The woman's correct. A man can't have sex unless a woman let him. But a woman can't get married unless a man chooses. It don't matter what she do.
But I feel like that's the whole game that's being played.
That's the sad part. That they playing the mean game.
Girls want to get married.
Niggas want to get
off.
off.
Nigga get in the butt.
He slide. He ain't never want to marry you in the first place.
So you mean what? What's your signature? Wet behind? Let's drop on it.
At the end of the day, they just go get married to a woman.
Huh?
That's,
That too.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
I know a lot of girls just have a baby.
oh, they ain't all the way because you got lipstick dice. But that's another conversation.
That is.
That's another conversation. You got lipstick dice. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Matter of fact, give me that Proverbs 8:17 so we get out of here. I got 45.
8:17. I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me.
Pause. So you see that he loves those that do what? Love him. So that means those same attributes of love that he manifested towards us, then we would manifest that towards him. You see what I'm saying? But hallelujah for Yahushua in the word. Start right there. Bless everybody on the stream out the house. Y'all name it Yahushua. Y'all willing, we pick it up again on Wednesday, and we'll continue on the same vein and track that we are in 1 Corinthians 13 and get into it in a more in-depth fashion. With that one there, I bid you adieu. Until the next time.
I do.